Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. It is Sunday, the 18th of December, 2020. Is it real? Is it true? Is the Avatar the Way of Water bombing? Is it underperforming? Is the movie terrible? We're going to be talking about that all day, all night here, Hollywood After Dark, folks. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Well, most of you. Apparently, Ralph's double tits here. Already running away like a little bitch. Saying, God, Jarbo is still talking about The Rock, passing on this one tonight. Actually, there's positive news to talk about with The Rock. Why don't you stick around and find the fuck out instead of just being a passive-aggressive little bitch? But there's a lot to talk about tonight, obviously. Avatar came out. A lot going on with Avatar. But first things first, I just want to point out that if you guys head over to Podio Commentary, whether it's the YouTube channel or anywhere you get your podcasts, Alita Battle Angel episode is now up. It's 37 minutes of me going over the plot, over the history, and giving my overall thoughts. It was a fun podcast to make. Looking forward to diving back into this on a weekly basis. So that is up right now, youtube.com/Podio Commentary, or anywhere you guys get your goddamn podcast. So let's not hesitate. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive in. Let me bring in RJ and Jimbo. RJ finally back from having a lot of surgery, a lot of problems with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, but you know what? Got to kind of relax today, and I actually finally saw Avatar: The Way of Water this afternoon. So,
did you get it? Did you go in and not have it spoiled?
Zero spoilers. Didn't know a goddamn thing.
Nice. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it with that movie. Even though I feel you could spoil it for yourself and not really feel like you missed anything.
There's like two big spoilers in the movie. One in the beginning, one at the very end. So
yeah. I mean, that's really about it. But otherwise, it's been on my mind the entirety of the weekend. Like, I thought about going and seeing it again last night, just not in freaking not in IMAX, not in HFR. I can't do it. But
we will have that discussion because
we're going to talk about it towards the end.
But
man, no, oh my god!
But here's the thing: like I was going to ask you because you saw it in Cinemark XD, correct?
Yes, I did.
Is that an equivalent to IMAX? Because I'm debating if I want to go see it in Cinemark XD or IMAX.
Man, I'll tell you this: it felt like I was watching an IMAX. Right, like it was a little close to the screen. Maybe that's why the HFR didn't work as well for me. But like there's a spot when like a depth charge goes off towards the end of the movie, and like the fucking audio in that place just like lit up my eardrums. You know what I mean? Like I felt the blast. I even asked my dad, I'm all like, did you feel that? He's like, yeah, I did. So there was a lot going on with that particular movie here. Simon here with the first super chat of the night. Thank you, Simon. $5 says, just got out of 3D IMAX Avatar, first Cameron movie to make me tear up. I'm not crying. You're crying. Dude, no, I got emotional watching that movie, dude. I really did, man. I know it's the part we're talking about too.
Movie too, which we're gonna.
It kind of is. It really is. It really is. But again,
it puts God of War to shame.
Well, I don't know about that.
Dad and son.
Are you just waiting for Jake Sully to go, boy?
I mean, he did.
He kind of did a couple times. Yeah, while you're watching that.
Chat, let me know.
He was a disappointed father.
Yeah, I was gonna say, chat, let me know. Should I go see it in Cinemark XD or IMAX next week? So I'm gonna go see it again next week. I'm gonna
go see it again. My dad made the comment about wanting to go back to Cinemark XD. It's like 45 minutes away, so we have to like plan it.
Yeah,
right?
For me, it's like the options I have because I'm like I said, I'm gonna be in Vegas. I can go either or. They're both pretty quick to me. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a good movie here. So just I have to say this. So this obviously is a clickbait thumbnail. I have to admit it. I feel gross.
It, by the way,
RJ encouraged it. This was my original thumbnail, and then RJ's like, no, add crying tears, and Jimbo's like, no, add like all this to The Rock, and so I just went and made this. Obviously, James Cameron did not tweet this. But hey, look, when it comes to YouTube, right? No one ever cares. There's a lot going on with that. So there's it's not, the movie's doing well. The movie's doing very well. It's definitely one of those things
Yeah,
Rational man. We will talk about all that towards the end, dude.
Yeah.
So save all the Avatar comments for the end, because there's just a lot going on.
Interesting takes. I mean, you got the Eric Weber guy calling it a flop, and there's all these articles and puff pieces, and Greg's put out a video being like, did it underperform? Is it not doing as well?
God, I know. Well, I want to get into that here in a minute, just because the whole concept of like, did it underperform? Yada yada yada. There's a big factor with that like no one is talking about. I'll just say it now.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying it right now. It is the factor that no one is talking about is that it's the premium seats that are selling out, right? It's the premium showings that are selling out. It's not to say like people are wanting to see this in the biggest, craziest screen possible. And those scenes, those are selling out, which is why I don't want to say underperformed, but like why it didn't hit the numbers that it did, because it didn't have that big push.
No, I agree. I think most people, at this point, are like, I only want to see this in the premium formats, and there's just not a premium seats to go around.
Yeah,
you know, you can only book them as much as you can.
That's a big one. Zachary here says it's his birthday. Hey man, congrats, happy birthday. Hope you're having a good one, man.
I want to mention too, real quick as well, because for example, in most of my theaters locally, because it's a 3-hour movie, 4 hours with previews and all that crap, they can only show the movie in the premium formats 3 to 4 times a day. That also plays a role.
Man, that's a big factor. You know, like, I mean, we saw the first showing of it in Cinemark XD the other day, but it was only playing like 3 p.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m., right? Or, well, around that time frame. You know, or 3 p.m., 3 p.m., maybe 8 p.m. or something, depending on, it was like 7 p.m. I'm just saying it's basically like, there's like, that movie is long and you feel it as you're going through it. But like for me, like the more I think about it now, the more I'm like, I kind of wanted it to be longer, only because I just wanted to like spend more time there.
Honestly, and again, I don't want to jump the gun, but I just want to say, like, for me, I did not feel the length whatsoever. Not a single moment did I feel the length.
I thought I was going to have to piss. Did not have to piss.
I didn't have to pee once. Nope. I was good the whole time.
I was like, I got a big I got a big thing of popcorn, right? And I'm like, the sodium will sop up the urine. That was my argument.
That's my opposite problem, because it's so salty. I drink more soda, you know. So
yeah, well, yeah, I got a water. I don't drink soda anymore. Let's see here. There was a thing here. Fandom NSL says thoughts on the quartering winning Dick Rider of the century. Dude, we were talking about that right before going live. What? Oh my god,
it's so bad.
It's bad.
Can we talk about the Elon thing just real quick?
Yeah. We'll touch upon the Elon thing real quick. So what do you want to say about the Elon thing?
I'm just like, listen. So right now he put out that poll basically asking if I'll let the people vote. If you guys vote yes, I will leave my position as CEO of Twitter or whatever. It's got like almost like 13 million views. He's obviously losing. People want him to go. I just don't know, man. This whole thing's just so weird to me.
It's all a troll. The whole thing's a troll, right? Like, it's all a troll. The entire thing that he's doing, because even today, he posts, he's like, oh, you can't post about where my jet is. That's assassination coordination.
Yeah. And then
then he posts, he's at like the World Cup with Jared Kushner and the Saudis.
And
you're just
like, dude, that picture went viral. People were like, what the hell is he doing? You know? And then you had the news today, which broke Twitter, and why people are wanting him to get kicked out. It's because they made that policy change saying you can't promote any other social medias on Twitter, including Linktree. And people were pissed off, being like, what are you doing? You know? Because remember, they suspended and banned Mastodon's Twitter account because they said, oh, you're promoting your other thing. You can't do that here.
Yeah, but never mind. What? Gab has a verified account. You know, so I don't know, but I don't know if Gab is still promoting Gab on his account.
Well, before they deleted the policy change and that whole tweet about everything, the rules changing, they said Truth Social, Mastodon, Linktree, Instagram, Facebook would all be banned off of their social media platforms. So those links couldn't work. Because I remember when I had my Mastodon profile, the link in my profile, right?
Yeah.
When I changed my profile, it said I couldn't keep that link. Because I changed my bio in my Twitter thing. When I tried to update, it says this link cannot be used because it leads to malware. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. That's my Mastodon profile link. So I had to take it out. It's bullshit.
Yeah, they're just doing that on purpose. They're just doing that to, like, you know, just to be a gigantic piece of crap about it.
At
Oh
least
my
they're
God.
reversing it. At least very
Yeah,
quickly.
they are doing that. And they deleted everything else, right? They deleted everything else with that. They've been, like, but that's kind of the whole point. Like perhaps maybe it would be a good idea if every time they're going to do something that's going to be this kind of controversial, maybe perhaps actually, like run it by somebody first. That might be a solid idea.
Yeah, it's the running gun kind of mentality.
Does PR not exist?
not not in regards to not in regards to that.
Here's something that I want to talk about too, just really quick too. Elon's been talking about this whole Twitter video thing, right? To monetize the platform, basically like make Twitter or YouTube supplement, right?
Yeah, or TikTok, or it's really TikTok. It's really TikTok.
But either way, could you see them banning YouTube and TikTok links in the future if this policy would have went through?
That'd be brutal, bro. That would cause an even bigger shit show.
Well, the thing is, though, there's not going to be much of a way for them to monetize it because even YouTube is going to run into this big problem once they start trying to monetize the shorts and whatever. Because, the thing is, though, it's like, will the advertisements stick around for that? I mean, YouTube has a better infrastructure than, let's say, than Twitter does, obviously. But when you start to think about how like all these companies have been like postponing their advertisements and how they've just been really shutting it all down, he's got to think of a way to like bring everybody back. And honestly, for him, leaving the platform is the best course of action, really, is because it's got to like, you've got to reinstill trust with the advertisers. And the fact that he's been like buddying up with avowed white nationalists and very far-right individuals, and he seems to be giving them a lot more attention. The whole shutting down Twitter Spaces over really a nothing burger, going after journalists.
He turned it off for like a whole day just because he got salty that he got owned in a space. Like, come on, it happens to everybody.
And it wasn't even like I listened to the video and I thought that what I thought was pretty funny about it was they were just like, so hold on, let's clarify certain things here. And then he just dips out, and then like it goes down like 30 minutes later. Like imagine. Just, you have to love it. You have to love it that you've got this guy. He's pouting. He just gets butt mad. He just gets fucking butt mad at the whole concept of it. It's like, oh my God, you guys, they made fun of me, and then like now he's just getting memed on and dunked on. And this, I think he can handle it to a certain extent, but he also wants to be part of the cool kids club. Like that's kind of the point. Like he probably thought that if he bought Twitter, he would be heralded as a genius, but instead it's like,
he is by certain people, but not everyone.
well, by quartering, who is now a massive dick writer. I mean, I even tweeted at him. I even said, this is more embarrassing than when I went on the kill stream 4 years ago. It's true.
And you're not wrong.
It's so true. It's like, tomorrow is our 9/11, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is our 9/11.
Yeah, did he tag everybody? He says, if you've been a true friend to me, you need to help us win the poll.
Yeah, like he's got to protect it from like, what? Okay, so if he's looking tomorrow at like the World Trade Center, the question is it going to be 1993 or 2001?
What are you trying? What's with the 9/11 shit? I'm just trying to figure out.
You came in and you fucked up my joke, man. You came in and you fucked up my joke.
9/11. It's the 9/11.
Do you even know the 93 reference?
Yeah, that was the first time
it got bombed in the basement where like nothing happened. Yeah. No, but it's but now coming out there and trying to argue that it's 9/11-esque, to protect Twitter.
This is it for free speech, so we have to do this.
436 million people use Twitter. 2 billion use Facebook. 2 billion use YouTube. 1 billion uses fucking TikTok, dude. I mean, shit, even ChatGTP has got like over 1 million users in 5 days. Like, it's blowing up. People go on Twitter to like share memes and laugh at bullshit. And then you've also got the activist bullshit taking over, the rampant spreading of misinformation, all of the bots. Elon's like, I want to get rid of the bots. He's done nothing to combat the bots. I have been spammed in DMs now by bots at least 3 times a day.
Most of the bots activity on Twitter that I see is from DMs. I get so many bot DMs. It's ridiculous.
It's like, do you want to get a new job? I'm like, well, I mean, kind of, but like, you're not going to give it to me.
Most of mine are like really random stuff like, oh, do you want to meet girls in your area kind of shit? you know?
Any single
I think
moms?
it maybe, you know what, hey, listen, maybe that's just the AI picking up on what we're looking for.
Maybe, I don't know.
Other hot singles in your area, RJ?
Yeah, RJ,
are there any hot milfs?
RJ guaranteed clicks on one of those links right there.
No, hell no. I'm smart than
Like,
that.
There are sexy single moms in your area wanting to meet you. And RJ's
I
like,
wanna meet you
I like
too.
mommies.
Let me meet you, bro.
The new flautist here says, I hope TikTok is banned in the US. It won't be. Did you notice it wasn't? Okay, so the reason why they want TikTok banned in the US.
Chinese malware, I know.
It's the Chinese malware. But here's the thing actually with the Chinese malware. There's not Chinese malware on TikTok. I looked this up, and maybe I'm wrong, but what I remember reading was that it has a lot to do with the fact that TikTok gets cloned through phishing, like really often. So it's like, it's people are dumb with this kind of stuff. You know, people who click on random links and don't know what's going on, and they just boomer their way through it. Like my grandmother way back in like 2009 got Facebook. She was in her 60s. She clicked on the wrong link. All of a sudden I get a DM from her one day, and my grandmother just goes like, I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? She's like, hey, I just got some new pictures of my boobs done. Do you want to see them? And I'm all like, I know my grandmother has had a double mastectomy because she had breast cancer twice. So I'm like, if she got new boobs, it would be funny, but like, no. But I also knew she didn't get new boobs. But it's like that was the bot that was going around and trying to ask all that shit. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like the thing when it comes for TikTok is TikTok is not going anywhere. I'm sorry. It's literally not going anywhere. You can sit there and want it to go. You can ask it to go. You can demand that it go. It's just not going to go anywhere. Thomas Scott here says they're mad about TikTok because the younger people have been trolling older boomer Republicans on there. Oh my God. Yeah, so many boomer Republicans on TikTok, dude. Like, I actually had to delete one of my true crime videos, really, because the comments on it were so racist. I got disgusted, and I was like,
what?
It was a story I covered about a couple who had been carjacked, kidnapped, raped, mutilated, brutally murdered by 5 black people in like Knoxville back in like 2009. It's a horrible case. And I did surface level talking about it because I wasn't going to go into full detail. But it's like, it triggers a lot of people. This is like the one meme like that your right-wing uncle will send around to like try to demonize all black people. You know, the one, like, it's one of those kind of memes. But like the comments were just like, I mean, fucking horrible. And I'm like, look, man, like, these people are cretins. They're bastards. But like, can we not disparage an entire race of people? Can we just not do that?
Yeah, let's not blame everyone for the actions of a couple monsters.
Yeah, can we just like not, like, I just really don't feel comfortable with this. So I ended up, in the video, I had like 500,000 views. It had blown up, and I ended up just deleting it. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I really don't want to deal with this.
No, understandably so.
And so I'm just like, yeah, like, but the thing is, like, there's a lot of boomers on TikTok. They have horrible takes, but they're pretty funny because like they get on there unironically and they're like, our government was stolen by the Democrats and we got to take it back. I'm like, you know, you're using like a Chinese app, right? Like, people dance music on here and
don't you fucking tell me that it was made in China. It's mainly American.
I got a funny real quick TikTok story. You? So the other day, as my dad and I are driving to go see Avatar, we had to take the side roads to get around the 3 accidents on the freeway, but we're kind of trapped in by the Puget Sound. So we go through this rural part, and we're waiting in line, and I see this hot pink Tesla drive by, and I'm like, oh, I recognize that car. I know where that chick works. And he looks at me kind of funny, and I'm all like, she's one of those bikini baristas, right? And there's like no strip clubs like within like 40 miles of my city. There's just not, you know, whatever, right? I don't care. I don't go to those anymore, but they just don't exist up here. But anyway, there's a couple of the bikini baristas. But the funny thing was, I recognized this car because when I first got TikTok on my phone, it geolocates you, right? It's very focused app. So I'm thumbing through, and it's showing me like a bikini barista. But I look at the design of the shop, and I'm all, that looks familiar. I think that's the one that's like not far from here. And I check her profile and I'm scrolling through, and lo and behold, yes, she's in my city. And then one of her friends is the girl who owns that pink Tesla.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm just like, I recognize that car. I recognize that car from TikTok, and I've seen it flying around. I'm just saying it's just crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I like TikTok, but my God, it can be crazy. Blockatiel here says, yes, all right-wing people have a Southern accent. It's kind of like there's educated racists, you know what I mean? But I think the best stereotype for a racist is someone who probably flies a Confederate flag. Listen, and that's generally someone who lives in the South.
Yeah. If the shoe fits, I mean, you just kind of roll with it. If
the shoe fits. Yeah. If the Klan robes are starched,
then they must be a racist.
Thoughts on Taylor Lorenz doxing libs of TikTok? Did she? I don't care. Fuck libs of TikTok, man. I don't give a shit. After all the bullshit going on with that Boston fucking hospital, man, and the shit that libs of TikTok pulls, I don't care. I have no sympathy. I'm sorry. I don't care. Let's see here. Fandom NSL here says, watched Bullet Train last night. It was phenomenal. I hope it gets a sequel. I don't know if it should get a sequel, but I also agree that it was phenomenal. I'm
fine with being a one and done movie, to be honest.
I mean, I like Brad Pitt's characters, and I like the characters in the world, and I like the way that it's set up. But I don't feel it needs more. Yeah, there's this another handler, another job, another white devil sort of thing. I don't quite know. Super duper dog here. It's Boston Children's Hospital. Libs of TikTok was trying to claim that they mutilate children there, that they do that they have mastectomy surgeries for trans men, that they mutilate genitals, that they all this it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's really stupid, but that's exactly what's going on. But I do want to talk about something movie related, but also really stupid, but also really funny, because today we got a little bit of an update, right? And we talk about this a little bit here on the show, but it's always nice when bad things happen to bad people. So let's talk about this one here. Sil Abdul today puts out Scoop Center no more. Scoop Center no more.
I heard about this.
And here's what all I can say to that, RJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Can you also play the Ewok ending of Return of the Jedi?
I don't have Yub Nub on here. I need to get that drop though.
It feels like when the Death Star imploded, It's just like, like the Rebels.
How can you have a Scoop Center when first of all, we know you take scoops from literally any Tom and Jerry on Twitter and pass them as like, oh, this is what a source says.
Well, okay, so backstory.
Information.
Because I did a little bit of some research, aka watching some of their videos. Sil said that the idea for Scoop Center was to conclude it early, like around this time, because the Snyderverse was about to be restored. So they said that because DeLuca and Abdi confirmed that they were going to do the Snyderverse and First Fork Gun showed up, it means Mikey and Sil were right the entire time. Mikey was right, and they could sail off into the sunset. That's their excuse. It kind of just reached its natural conclusion anyway. So Sil's packing up. Basically, Sil's packing up bags to focus on his own individual scoops and his own channel, including like a Snyderverse series. And Mikey's packing up his bags to just run Geekosity and do his comic book. So they're done. They're both done. The fall to irrelevancy has begun. They're both done.
I really wonder if let me just I got to find one thing real quick here, but I really can't help but ask myself if there's a correlation with something. You know what I mean? Like, you have to always kind of wonder if there is a correlation with, any of the crap that they say or that they do, and it just maybe potentially catching up with them a little bit. You know what I'm talking about there, RJ? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm kind of getting at here. I'm trying to get the file. That's why I'm taking forever. But like, for those of you guys who don't know, I mean, like, we talked about this the other day, but guys, I mean, you can't sit there and expect people not to notice when you kind of come out and say things like this.
The space stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. Honestly, if James Gunn gets Green Lantern, yeah, I'm gonna fucking shoot the place up.
There you go. There you have it.
Oh, and don't forget that Necron's always on Sill's channel, and he also called James Gunn the F slur.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
bag of twigs.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like it's all he's like, oh, I'm part British. Like,
Even
sure.
though he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah, you
Like-
can see on his face that he knew he fucked
He even
up.
said,
But still doesn't care. Still doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, the reason why this whole thing is hysterical, because you can tell they're trying to really argue that they're like, oh, Scoop confirmed that Abdi and DeLuca, they wanted
one more
another
Snyderverse go around.
But that's not restoring the Snyderverse, because at
We
the
have
end
no
of
clue what
that,
that means, because Zach wasn't even going to likely direct it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Zach
So they-
being back is restoring the Snyderverse.
Because literally, one more Snyderverse go around could mean literally anything. Because remember, weren't they the ones saying Ben Affleck signed a 6-picture deal to do a trilogy and like 3 cameos or whatever? Or like
I mean, like,
movies?
look, here's the
They
thing.
said
At this
so
point,
much shit. It's just like, come on.
well, at this point, the things that Sill has said and the things that Taylor Landine, aka Taylor Murphy from Cultured Nerd, had said are surprisingly, there's a lot of overlap there, right? It's like Sill just went back into the Cultured Nerd archives and just started pulling from that playbook, thinking no one would catch on. But that's what they did. I mean, they literally just kept saying stupid shit over and over and over again. And that's one of the reasons why it's as funny as it is.
Oh,
Because, you can't sit there and go, hey, we're ending this Scoop game. The Scoop game is over. Right.
Scoop Center's over. We're retiring
Yeah,
it on our terms.
So if I were to bring up Geekosity Mag right now, I mean, you still got, I mean, there's not really much here in regards to like the Scoop game. I mean, the last article Mikey put out was about Scoop confirmed Henry Cavill would have fought Brainiac and canceled Man of Steel 2. It wasn't really like, it was never greenlit. It was never greenlit. It was in development. Charles Roven had 3 weeks.
Did you read his new Coke article? It's the most salty, pathetic thing I've ever read in my life.
Let me bring it up here.
It's
I
bad.
haven't read it. But
what's going to happen with the Cool Table? Because they're talking about that they're all going to go on, like, remember Noah's Ark? They're saying that the flood has come with James Gunn and the DC reboot, but they're all going to get on the Ark to support the Mikeyverse, and that'll save them.
what does that even mean?
I don't know, but that's the new hashtag.
Fucking
Ark Watch.
brain.
They're all going to get inside the Ark and survive.
What?
Look it up, man.
This
I swear
is
to God.
like some straight up mental fucking brain
Their
damage
mentality
shit.
is that you either get on the Ark and support Dreamwalker and the Mikeyverse, or you get caught in the Great Flood.
Oh my God! Here, Tony asks, if Sill's here right now, what would you ask him? How's unemployment?
Yeah,
Yes,
dude,
that's
like,
Damn.
like, I'm sorry, but like, now that it's done, most like their hardcore supporters are gonna dip.
Well,
They
I mean,
they've been
that's
taking
kind of
massive L's. Not
Well,
only
they've been
in their
taking L's for-
credibility, but in their fucking like audience too. with
yeah.
that
Well, they've been
shit, too.
taking those L's now.
I think their
for-
mentality is they're just gonna latch themselves onto that Dreamwalker comic book and like Marvel stuff.
but
I guess, now.
that's not selling. From what I've been told. So
And half their
that's-
audience isn't even
like,
geared
it's-
towards
it's-
Marvel. They fucking hate Marvel. They only
What
like Dick
yeah.
White Snyder. So I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, Sills did say he's still gonna cover DCU when the slate drops, and he's gonna cover scoops from that.
So he's not
Look
climbing
at
on the
that.
arc?
No, he is, but I don't know, dude. I don't know.
No,
He's covering out
that's
of
technically
obligation
not.
for his channel because he's a DC channel. I mean, what is he gonna do? He's
Yeah.
known for DC stuff. He
No,
has to cover
you
it.
can't.
Yeah.
According to what you guys said about the arc, you can't climb on the arc if you're not solely supporting the Mikeyverse, and it doesn't make sense.
Well, as Ryan here says for $5, thank you, Ryan, by the way. In the words of Jay Sherman from The Critic, and nothing of value is lost.
So, real
Yes.
quick, so if Mikey's retiring and going back to Geek Austin his comic and still has his retired Scoop Center, does that mean the Cool Table's theoretically dead too now?
They're going to it's going to slowly die off. They're going to slowly go crazy. I mean, if you want to see them go crazy, I did find this one today. This was sent my way. Zod Rider earlier today says when Jaume Colette Serra's director's cut of Black Adam comes out and Superman is wearing a black suit with a Zimmer theme music, how are some of you going to feel? That's not going to happen.
No, Matt. That's the tip of the iceberg, my friend. Have you seen the other stuff he tweeted about his book?
No.
Oh boy, pull up my screen.
Okay, because I'm blocked by him, so I can't read any of that. I had to go find that, but I mean, again, this is the cope that we find ourselves in right here.
Here's the first one. There's more.
I'm going to ask my digital artist to draw James Gunn with the Infinity Glove, giving the finger to DC with Marvel in the background. The artwork is going to be spectacular. Pause not stopped, which again is a light cast term, by the way.
Oh, he's changing the title.
Oh, he is?
Just wait.
More like, so fully stopped.
The middle finger to DC and all those who loved it. Okay.
Hold up. So I just got a thing. So if you said he's changing the title, is he going to change it to Stop Not Forgotten? Or
yeah, because he said that he's depressed writing this, and then he said, oh, the new title's going to be the middle finger to DC. Then he put out a poll saying, what should the book be called? And his audience said that it should be called Gunned into Oblivion.
Nah, I think it should be called Stop Not Forgotten.
And then he puts out this tweet right here. The book is on hold.
January rewrites are coming.
He says, thank you to everybody who sent me their comments for my book, #pause not stop. The book is currently on hold. I need to decide which direction to take the main narrative out now, but I am still aiming to tell a positive but factual account of events. January rewrites are coming.
So everything stopped.
And now we know the cover of the book is going to be this picture, or potentially something like this, of James Gunn giving the middle finger.
I hope James Gunn buys a copy, it's free. So I hope he gets a copy and then just like shows it, using it for kindling. Like, oh yeah, while I'm writing more DC content, look what's stoking my fire.
So again, Matt, everything's in shambles. The book is on hold. Scoop Center's done. The cool tables fighting for relevancy and hopping on Noah's Ark. I mean, Jesus, man, who could have thought this happened?
It's fucking
very biblical,
dude.
It's very biblical, right? Like, that's kind of funny to me, but it makes sense because, you know, the DC characters are based around gods, and that's kind of what these guys are talking about.
Zack Snyder kind of was their god.
Yeah, and he's been very silent. If you've noticed, Zach hasn't said anything recently. But I do agree with Vince there.
He never says shit.
No, he's never.
That's what I want.
Never...
Like even the whole turkey thing, he didn't even make a damn comment about that, and yet people fucking like were nutting over it. Like, oh my god, he's back. But guess what? Nothing happened.
Can I say though, I'm just glad that this chapter can be closed now. Like real talk. What are Sil and Mikey in this whole chapter of like movie talk going to be remembered for? You guys think?
I mean,
what is their legacy at the end of the day?
To be fair, outside of this particular place, there's really nothing. They don't have relevance. We talk about them, we laugh at them, they get made fun of on social media, but they've insulated themselves into such a small little isolated community that at the end of the day, they don't have anything. Like,
so
they're not.
Kind of whisper off into nothing.
Well, yeah, because what are you going to say? Oh, what did they? I mean, he got the Ben Affleck thing correct.
Yeah, that was dope.
And that could have been like,
he got Brainiac and Man of Steel 2 right. He said that
everyone. But the thing is, everyone called that. But my thing is,
who else would it be?
Well,
you know,
we have speculated that there are some bots in the viewership based on the number of people supposedly watching versus the chat. So my thing is, with everything kind of coming to a close and them like hyping up and saying, oh yeah, Zach is gonna be back to Snyderverse Restored for fucking years, now that it's like officially like, sorry, Cavill's not coming back, we're moving, we're having a whole new thing, do you think that the audience like of people watching will still be there?
It's gonna trickle down.
The thing is, like, yeah, it's like they want to build, you know, they want to have their community
because they want to keep the community. Yeah,
but that's the thing though, is like their entire community is based around DC, and if they all hate DC, then they're all gonna have to.
And
hate
the Snyderverse, it's basically Snyderverse, bro.
Yeah, but the whole point though is that eventually that kind of hatred and negativity is gonna either gonna implode them, or it's gonna make its way to other avenues, right? Where it's gonna be like fucking, they're just gonna start. They're just gonna. I mean, wait for like Guardians 3 to start coming out. You know, they're all gonna start attacking Guardians 3.
Oh yeah, of course they are. Anything. I saw them attacking the holiday special today on Twitter and on social media because James Gunn posted that he got a Rotten Tomatoes award for it. Like,
Oh,
that's
right. It was it was certified fresh. Yeah. So
things
yeah,
are
I know.
interesting to see how their behavior. I mean, just imagine when the slate gets announced too. My God.
Yeah. Well, let's take a
Oh.
look here at this article because I haven't read this one yet. So hold on. The DCU reboot already tastes like new Coke.
And everyone gets the new Coke reference, right? Because it's like, oh, they try to replace the good classic Coke with new Coke that nobody liked.
Almost about 40 fucking years ago. You know what I mean? Like, new Coke is isn't it from the 80s?
Like,
yeah, 80s,
that's what. Yeah, I mean,
You know,
the sugar. That's why everyone like spends like $30-something on like a crate or a case of bottled Coke. Cause it's still like the.
I mean, like,
sugar.
well, you can get like hold on, when did new Coke come out? I'm asking chatbot.
Well, it makes sense for a boomer like Mikey said.
1985. So it is 37 years old is when new Coke came out. And that had a massive backlash from consumers who preferred the original formula and were unhappy with the change. And that's what he's referencing. When a lot of the guys that were going to be on social media who are going to watch these movies have literally no idea what new Coke is.
And
I wasn't even born, bro.
And not even that. Just real quick before you read this, I want to mention too. I guarantee you, at least 50 to 60% of the people bitching and moaning are still going to watch the damn movies anyway.
Oh,
because
100%.
They are DC fans still at the end. Even if they hate watch it, they're still going to watch it.
Yeah,
a lot of them are going to be
because they have to review it. They have to review it, talk about it, because it's like, yeah, you're gonna just constantly hate watch. Like when the slate comes out, they're just gonna completely shit on it, saying we could have had so much better with Zach.
And I guarantee when the slate comes out, they're going to be drowned out by the hype. Guarantee it.
Well, it's like the people.
Probably.
It's like the people that were trying to attack, Avatar and whatever. They get drowned out by the hype. What cracks me up though is like, it's like I was shit talking Eternals before it came out, and I still had no desire to see it. I still haven't seen it. So eventually I'll watch it because I keep getting bullied into watching it.
Well,
but anyway,
the Batman had all listen. People were trying to shit on Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves and the Batman. Remember all that time when they were going?
He's not working out. He's not exercising because he made a cheeky comment.
And what happened when the trailers dropped? Nobody gave a shit. The hype drowned out all the haters, and it made money even without the Snyder fans and them boycotting shit. So they're fucking irrelevant, man.
Yeah, it's just like I know it's just a bunch. Look, a lot of the shit that's online, as we know, is just full of absolute fucking stupidity, right? Like that's all it is. It's just stupidity, and it's ridiculous shit. Let's check this out here. So Mikey here says the DC reboot has revealed little, but it already tastes like new Coke. Oh, you're right. That's pretty salty. That's pretty sodium filled. Granted, we haven't seen the full menu from DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn yet. Certainly there might be gems inside. On the other hand, this isn't like licking a Tootsie Pop to reach its delectable. Oh my God. Boomer.
I told
Big
you.
word.
Boom. No, dude. Boomer, man. It's like, dude, the fucking like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? 1, 2, 3. I mean, like, that's the old commercial. I saw that when I was that even predates me.
I saw that when I was a kid.
But it's like, that's the commercial. It's just, oh my God, this is what happens when you don't leave your house and all you do is read comics. Oh,
this is also what happens when you're a salty bitch who like procreated your entire career.
Well, I mean, to be fair, as far as I understand it, Mikey doesn't leave the house very often, so there's that.
That would make sense.
And there's reasons for it. It's not like an attack. Anyway, saying here instead, it's like putting your hand in dog poop to search for sweet candy. What? No, this is a different kind of Hershey's Kiss. But before we speculate on the future or discuss the present, let's take. What? Oh my God! Really?
And
like
the next 2 paragraphs are just the history of New Coke and what it was.
Oh God! So, jeez.
So, but then he mentions, however, they left consumers without a choice. That's where it gets funny.
What choices? It's like one direction. Nevertheless, the backlash was so loud, Coca-Cola brought back their trademark. Blah blah blah. Okay, moving down.
Yeah,
here.
and this is instead of giving people what they truly wanted, to give them an inferior product, and that's his analogy. That this is an inferior product to what the Snyderverse would have been.
Well, to be fair, we haven't. I mean, Mikey wasn't even on board with the Snyderverse until the fucking movie came out.
No, he didn't he crap talk it before?
He wasn't crap talking it. He wasn't crap talking it, but like he was like, he was like excited for it to happen. But he was like, he told me that Snyderverse content didn't do well for the website.
Well,
Thomas here says you didn't see this article came out in 1989.
Feels like it.
Kind of. Oh my God, it's old. It's very, very, very old. Okay, so it says here that when Gunn announced that he will replace Henry Cavill as Superman, it conjured memories of New Coke. No, it didn't. Cavill and The Rock already told the world who was Superman going forward, then Gunn abruptly pulled the rug from underneath the fans. Actually, it felt like he ripped the bandage off. If Cavill hadn't announced his return, perhaps it wouldn't sting as much. After all, the previous DC films trained followers to not expect anything from them. In my 35 years as a professional journalist, I've never witnessed such cruelty from a movie studio.
All thanks to the guy that y'all were sucking off.
That line made me laugh. That in 35 years, he's never seen the studio be so cruel to its fans.
Right. Okay. Does he not know? I've never witnessed it from a movie studio. Fox. Just as far as a television studio, the shit that they've done to their fans. Saying here, then I love, oh my God, this next line. This isn't about fan entitlement. It's about bait and switch. No, it is about fan entitlement. On an epic level. Again, it smacks of New Coke. In other words, let's take away what you like. We'll give you this instead. If you don't, you'll enjoy it. Trust us, drink it. Now, what does that kind of remind you of? Right? Remember, was it a year or two ago when all of a sudden the Hamada Burger attack started happening?
Like, just go and eat your Hamada burgers.
Go, yeah, you'll like it. You're gonna take it. This is what we're gonna give you. It's the same exact argument. They just went from
burgers to Coke.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, the New Coke actually existed. The Hamada Burger stuff started getting a little bit on the racy side. People started calling it out for being somewhat racist and everything. Anyway, that's the same exact argument that he made before. All right. So, and there's a condescending, keep an open mind. I hear that quite a bit from certain folks who don't understand why a person becomes emotionally attached to a product. For example, like Coke. Yet the executives don't keep an open mind about what their consumers want. Without a doubt, it's not a two-way street with them. They pretend to listen to us to make themselves feel better. Like, there's also the financials. Can we talk about
they
like how
they make money, dude? That's all they want.
It's not even that they want to make money, RJ. They fucking have to make money.
Especially Warner Brothers Discovery right now.
Yeah, that's why the slate needs to work.
Let's keep it real for a second. An LA Times article just came out earlier today saying that Warner Brothers Discovery is $50 billion in debt, and they need to downsize, so they're going to spend $1 billion in downsizing. They had to reboot, folks, because let's be fair, the reboot is the cheapest and easiest option. It's also creatively what's probably best at the moment.
It is.
If you want to do a DC universe where you have to do all these contracts and negotiations for video games, animation, movies, that's a lot of money for some of these actors. It's much easier to reboot and just start fresh with probably younger and unknown actors. I know it's not easy to hear, but look at how bad the financial state of this company's in. Rebooting is the easiest and cheapest option.
They're literally surviving by write-offs.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are.
They write off next year's slate of DC films.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they do.
I wouldn't be surprised either, to be honest with you. And at this point, I'll tell you this: I don't want it, but I'm kind of okay with it. Like, if
how
it happened,
quick do you think they'll sell?
Well, if they,
everyone
2025. If the movies pull in some money and they can reinvent things and they're not going to sell, there's no need to. But if they can't get it going, then they're going to be kind of fucked. Ryan here for 5. Thanks, buddy. He says, reminds me of the time fans petitioned Warner Brothers to not have Michael Keaton as Batman. Right. The late 80s were a very interesting
campaign,
time.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's really, it's all crazy. It's, the studios are going to do what they're going to do. But they also realize that like they need to,
I
reorient.
love the last 2 lines in this article. Because he gets all dramatic.
I haven't. Let's keep going. Upcoming cameos by Ben Affleck and Cavill pointed to the direction Warner Brothers Discovery was headed. Warner Brothers Picture Group CEO Mike DeLuca wanted to keep the Snyderverse cast for a final ride. Indeed, we saw the puzzle pieces: Affleck in the Flash and Aquaman. Moreover, the Flash added Cavill, all gone, and so is our interest in the DCU.
There's more. I thought that was the end.
No, there's more here, right? Again, While the MCU continues to flex its muscles, the DCU prefers we take a sip of new Coke. Jesus. Sure, some will like the taste. In 1980, I saw a movie called The Hollywood Knights. In this film, some high school pranksters spike a punch with their own urine. An oblivious cop drinks it and says, it does have a little wang in it. Good, though. Anything is possible, I suppose. Okay. So here's what this article relates to. Okay. You've got, this is going to sound so weird, but it's 100% true. What you've got is a man who is in his 50s, right? Or around there, who was reminiscing about his childhood. This article reads like a person screaming with a midlife crisis, right? Like, why can't we go back to the 80s? There's no need to have multiple references to the 80s. And notice how he didn't mention Gal Gadot or Wonder Woman 3, because here's the thing is even Mikey had it criticized and didn't like Wonder Woman 1984. Even his own words to me were, how can you have a movie set in the 1980s without any 1980s music?
Yeah,
which
it's
is true
on so streams too.
Yeah, but that's just very true, right? Zachary here asking just to clarify, Mikey Sutton is a shit journalist. I mean, he ain't great.
I think journalist is stretching it very thin too, to be honest. He's a blogger.
Hey, you're attacking Mikey, okay? Know what happened last time y'all attacked Mikey? God.
Stroke?
Oh my lord.
Oh no. That's a little too far.
That's not what I was going with.
I don't know. Has he had any medical issues recently? I don't know.
No, I'm talking about the cool table and then making streams about you attacking Mikey. That's what I was going for. The fuck does that have to?
$3 Theater do not reflect the values of myself or Jimbo.
Jesus Christ!
What? I didn't say he's gonna have a stroke.
Listen, don't get in trouble like
he's
Ryan
already
Fearfit.
had a stroke. I'm not making fun of him having a stroke. That's a very serious medical issue.
Oh,
I just didn't know what you were referring to. That's the last thing I heard about was his stroke. So I wasn't. It's not a
all right,
joke.
the DC reboot. All right, tastes like new Coke.
It's not a joke. I just didn't know. I'm like legitimately, what can I say? I'm kind of autistic at times. All right.
I'm probably autistic.
I might have a touch of the tism.
Okay.
That's entirely possible.
I mean,
I sometimes can't read the room to save my goddamn life. It's really
isn't
bad.
that what what's his name? Parkland shooter guy said, like, oh, on the Joe Rogan thing, it gives me the same vibes as that comment. Oh, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember. He's so stupid. I can't remember. Alex Jones.
That might be a little retarded.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
remember that.
That's a great line. That's a good one right there.
It gives me the same vibes.
No, but I'm not saying that while denying that 20 kids were murdered in a school.
Yeah,
so there's a little bit of a difference there. I'm just like, well, that's what I remember.
But yeah, that article was just so bad. Like Mikey's going through the ringer because he's very salty that.
Well,
he knows that he knows what he lost. He lost a golden goose. So
yeah, and I got to give it up to Rational for this one because it does kind of add into it.
Wow! Wowie wow wow!
That's what he set you?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, is it better than...
Ow!
Oh God! Can you please put the red eyes? Because it's give it like a demonic tone to it. If you have that edited,
I don't even have the clip anymore. It's saved on my StreamYard.
That's fucking horrible, dude. That's horrifying.
Anyway, it's a funny quote. It's a funny one. I really enjoy that. Fandom NSLs here says, exclusive scoop. The Aquaman 2 end credit scene will feature Robert Pattinson's Batman appearing out of thin air, saying he hopes the food is better in this universe. Sources tell Kikosity. Oof.
It probably is something they would have reported.
Well, Grace is saying, I did hear her last night. God, that video pissed me off last night.
I don't know why. I don't think it was that bad.
It was such a bad video.
I don't think it was that bad.
It was such a bad video. She's like, well, they're going to bring Superman over to Robert Pattinson's Batman. I just don't.
How can you guys watch her content? That's what I want to know. How the fuck can you guys even stand the
Because I was out doing deliveries and it was raining and I was like, all right, I might as well.
I get it. I mean, because
I'm driving.
Damn.
Do you know what I did afterward? I actually sat there and I listened to like 15 how to use Chat GTP videos in a row. That was more entertaining than Grace. I'm like, how do I write code with an AI program? I know nothing about writing code. That was better.
Grace was still right though. A lot of things
Wait,
lately.
okay. She was right about the whole DCU thing and The Rock and this. I mean, like, I think there's kind of.
She was right about Cavill too. He didn't have a contract.
I said that too.
I know you're both right, but I'm telling you, Grace was right too.
Yes, on that front, she's right. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, everyone's like, no, you don't know that. You don't know that Henry
Turns
didn't
out
have a
it's just a
contract.
verbal agreement.
He got paid $500,000 to do it. Good for him. You know, get that money. Get that money for like he got $500,000 for literally a half day's worth of work.
Hey,
A half day?
Yeah, it's a half day,
Do you think like, okay, he talked about filming the cameo for The Witcher or for Black Adam. He was on the set of The Witcher at the same studio, right? I think they were at like Pinewood in London or whatever. And he snuck off for like half a day to go and shoot the cameo. Like he had to sneak over to another. It was a closed off set. They had to go and, he brought the costume from home and everything else. And then they did it real quick. And all he did is just literally walk in from some fog and just go like, it's been a long time since anyone made the world this nervous. Black Adam, we need to talk. Literally, that's it. Like fucking 12 words or some shit like that. And then they did another one for the Flash, and the Flash isn't even like a story progressing cameo from the rumor.
It was like a blink and you'll miss it, where it's just like, oh, he looks at Superman flying. It's like, oh, that's where you've been.
Yeah, that's about it. Like 500, and they would have probably just put him in like a girdle or whatever it is, the stunt work, the wire team shit. And they were, all right, just need to do that. We're okay, good, we're done. Let's just get a punch in of your face. We'll just do the rest in post. And there you have it. I mean, that's really about it. Like,
it wasn't too much work. I mean,
and that was $500,000.
But, yeah.
That was $500,000. Valhalla Erickson asking box office predictions for Mario.
I say about 600 to 700 million.
Domestic?
Listen,
I'll go worldwide with that number.
I'm going a billion. I'm calling a billion.
Okay.
Dude, if motherfucking stupid shit fucking Despicable Me movies can hit $1 billion, and I like The Rise of Gru, but I still can't stand the original.
Rise of Gru didn't make $1 billion though.
No.
Sequel to $1 billion movie. That's why
I blame the meme. I'll say a lot of people bought tickets for the meme, bro.
It's because of that 45-day window with Peacock. That's the only reason.
Well, there's that, and Rise of Gru hits Netflix like this week or something, or soon. It's hitting Netflix very soon. I like Rise of Gru quite a bit. Actually, my kids watched it a bunch.
So the first one.
I hate the first Minions movie.
Yeah, it's not
I really
good.
do.
It really sucks.
I Despicable Me 2, 3, and Rise of Gru I really like. Despicable Me 1 and the Minions movie I think are terrible. But and then it's kind of like The Secret Life of Pets 1 I fucking hate. Number 2 is actually it's a little
number
better.
1's just a rip off of Toy Story. So
yeah,
it kind of is. But Louis C.K. that's always pretty funny.
Louis C.K.
But I'm telling you right now, man, that motherfucking Mario. Okay, like I showed that to my girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh wow." And,
yeah,
I mean,
adults
like,
are really getting behind that.
Adults who grew up watching that. It'd be like if they actually did an animated Pokemon movie like that. That was like Ash and Pokemon or Ash and Pikachu doing the World Championship thing or whatever, and that was the movie, right? But it was like,
by the way, real quick.
I know about. We talked about
Ash. They're retiring him in his storyline next month. End of an era, 25-year run.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm okay. I haven't watched it in years, but I'm just saying, all I'm saying on that really is just like they can do it. The Mario thing though, like the fact that when you're watching that new trailer and you literally hear like the menu music for Super Mario World playing,
Did you get the trailer before Avatar?
I know. I got to Avatar over 30 minutes late.
Oh, that's right. I
got in there. I got in right at the train sequence, which is only a few minutes in the
train sequence. You missed a lot.
They basically missed like the intro and explain what's been happening. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. But I still figured everything out. Literally figured everything out. Like,
I mean, it's kind of not hard.
I still figured everything. I'm gonna go see it again, but like literally, we were just that late. Yeah. And that was just because of all the accidents.
I'll tell my Avatar story later, but I also had some computer issues. I took a picture of it.
Oh yeah, I saw your thing.
Oh, I had issues as well.
I'm telling you this though, it's just that Mario is so beloved, so well known.
If it makes $1 billion, I think it'll just barely, but I do think it has a chance. I think
it's gonna crack $1 billion. I think it's crack $1 billion here. Valhalla Erickson. Rue, I have to ask, Eric, is that you? I just have to ask if that's actually Eric, because I have a feeling it might be a friend of mine. But anyway, thank you. Because what genre do I want to see make a comeback?
Westerns.
Found footage.
Ooh, both.
Didn't
I'll go
already
both.
get- didn't
Fucking
already
love
get
both.
Found footage.
I mean, like it kind of had a resurgence for a while, around like the Cloverfield time, and then it just kind of dipped off again, right?
You know
'Cause
what?
I think
I'm gonna change my answer real quick. It's not really a genre, but I want to see more 2D animation in theaters.
Sure.
That'd be really cool. Like
I mean, they
Disney or
they
DreamWorks
do
or
a lot of it.
somebody.
They do a lot of it now with computers. So it's like they can easily do a 2D animation one with computers. I mean, go back and look at what was it the short film in front of, I think Wreck-It Ralph was Paperman.
The Paperman. Yep.
And that looked like it was hand drawn 2D,
They never
but that was
use
all
that
done computer.
technology again, though. Like what the hell?
Yeah, well, that's an Iger thing, I think, in my opinion.
Well, that new Disney
Because
movie
they-
coming out next year called Wish, they're supposedly bringing it back where it's going to be 2D and 3D combined.
Well, I
Supposedly is
hope
what I
so.
heard.
I just feel like I think Lasseter wanted to do it, and then I think Iger wanted to go the flashier route with like Frozen coming out the next year. I think Frozen fucked a lot of things up, if I'm being honest with you.
I blame Shrek a little bit. Only because Shrek started the trend of CG animated movies, But then again, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, which I've heard by all accounts,
Nothing
one of the best
but
movies of the
good
year.
things. Yeah, nothing but good things.
And that's like Spider-Verse animation, like 2D and 3D. So
Yeah. Hold on. Benson said a free chat there. I didn't see it, but you got to tell me these things, man. I don't get it up on the StreamYard. Benson, who's been an IMAX member for 12 months, dude. Thank you. Wow, you hit a whole year. Thank you, buddy. I heard the pastor saying he doesn't want a pretty boy for Superman. Never thought I'd hear a pastor declining a pretty boy.
God damn.
God damn.
Oh, we made it worse by saying goddamn.
He's not Catholic, though. Generally speaking, like,
Well, I wanted to say too, like, I have no issues with Enoch, but I do think he had a bad take in regards to like, because there's someone in his chat saying that like Hollywood's trying to like feminize all the action heroes and like there's no manly men anymore. I'm just like, no, just don't agree with that or even look at that. Like, come on.
Well, we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
Right. And apparently there was an article that came up today. I think today I got to find it again, but I think Caden posted it. All right, so hold on here. I got to find it again. Apparently, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the number one most popular Gen Z actor, right? Like
the people. So what years are Gen Z again?
Gen Z is like after the millennials, like born after the millennial.
Okay, so I'm not Gen Z then. I'd be like Gen Y.
You would be considered like you'd be considered kind of a Zoomer. You're right there at the end of it.
I was born 99, so I'm technically millennial.
Yeah, but I mean, like you're technically
2021, baby.
You're like last of the millennials. Like, but then again, I was born in 82, so I don't really qualify as Gen X necessarily.
I'm shocked
but I'm
that he
right
beat
at
out
the very
Tom
end.
Holland. That's crazy.
Well, that's the thing though. Is like what's the vote on this here? Like, what's the morning consult? Who are not like nobodies.
Johnny Depp number 3.
It's because of the thing here. Survey conducted between November 2nd and 8th, 2022, among a representative sample of 1,000 Gen Zers between the ages of 13 and 25, with an unweighted margin of error by plus or minus 3 percentage points. So they interviewed 1,000 Gen Zers that are between the ages of 13 and 25, and 65% of them had given out the top 10 actors they had given The Rock. Okay.
Does that surprise you?
1,000 people were like, I know who The Rock is.
He's the most recognizable movie star in the movie actor.
Movie actor.
Use the word star.
Businessman. Movie businessman.
Well, look here, but just kind of look though, right? Look at the other ones that are here. Tom Hanks. Why would he even fucking be on there? Right? Scarlett Johansson kind of makes sense.
Gump?
Well, no. I think Tom Hanks would be on here because if it's Gen Z, they would know him as Woody.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense, right? They'd know him as Woody. You got Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, Chris Hemsworth, Thor, Emma Watson, Hermione, RDJ, obviously Iron Man, Johnny Depp, Captain Jack, Tom Holland, Spider-Man. But The Rock, this is not representative of popular. All right, like they can't say favorite actor. It says popular or content creator according to Gen Z. The Rock puts out a lot of
category though, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. There's this creators right there. Yeah. Okay, I was wrong. So okay, popular actor is fine, but again, only 1,000 people. I mean, like, look, these are very heavily weighted, heavily skewed, in my opinion. I just, I mean, but look, listen. To be fair, I would definitely, say, all right, good for him. I mean, Mikey Rowe here says, really, The Rock, I demand a recount. That's
Taylor brings up a good point. I'm shocked that Ryan Reynolds didn't make the list.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's very interesting. And again, it's like, but again, how many people of those Gen Zers 6 years ago when Deadpool came out saw Deadpool in theaters, and how many have seen it since? That becomes a question.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have a link to the top 10 content creators one? I'm just kind of curious to see who made that one. So I guarantee you it's either Markiplier or PewDiePie #1. Guarantee it.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm not a good representation of my generation because this is fucking ass. I'm the youngest one here.
Here we go. Gen Z's
Jesus.
favorite actors and content creators.
Oh,
okay.
Mr. Beast. He's #1. That makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
He just got out of Fortnite, so.
Oh my god. Fortnite's a fucking bane
top
of
10
my
creators.
existence.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Beast, Zach King, PewDiePie. KSI is number 17.
Boxing.
Oh, yeah. Gary Beam, Dr. Disrespect. What?
Holy shit.
Aiden Ross? What?
Yeah, because the Andrew Tate shit.
Mr. Beast is like a pretty big lead, though.
Well, Mr. Beast is like apparently worth $1 billion now, from what I read.
He gives out so much fucking money. I won't be surprised.
Because he gives out all that money, man.
Yeah, but so more like most likely Markiplier. Man, we're way off.
I was way off. I mean, I figured PewDiePie would be on there, but I thought Markiplier would be on here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is nuts. But the way I mean, look, this again, 1,000 people.
So you know what this means, Matt? In order for The Rock to become a bigger movie star, in order to salvage his career, he's going to need to team up with Mr. Beast.
He needs to start making some dancing TikTok videos.
Have you not seen his videos with Mr. Beast?
Wait, he's done videos with Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
That hasn't fucking helped him.
Well, no, it was I think it was at the premiere, or it was at something to do with Black Adam. Mr. Beast popped up, and they kind of got into this like challenge with each other about charity, about donating like hundreds of thousands of dollars to charity or whatever,
So he's already collabed with Mr. Beast?
I mean, not like a direct collab. It was like
either way. I mean, the fact that they crossed. Okay, so that explains it. Mr. Beast has given The Rock popularity.
So, is that like the Weird Al bump, like the Yankovic bump? I mean, it's just crazy. Hold on. Protoss here says, doesn't Mr. Beast give away billions? Why wouldn't he be a billionaire? I mean, he's valued. It's the value of him is $1 billion. He's actually valued at more money than The Rock. He is. If Mr. Beast has a valuation of $1 billion, The Rock isn't even there yet. And this has all happened in the last couple of years with Mr. Beast coming out with the whole subscribe to PewDiePie thing. It just goes to show you that with you can, if you have a good enough team behind you, and you have the ability to invest in the way that Mr. Beast does, they work that well. One of the things too that Mr. Beast did is he did a lot of collabs with other YouTubers. He would who's like the person who can keep their hand on this car the longest will you get the car sort of thing. And he brings out people, he flies them on out, like you ever heard of Leon Lush? I think he recently just hit Leon Lush. I think he recently hit 1 million. I met Leon when he had like 10,000 subscribers back in 2017 at VidCon. Really nice guy. We were all partying it up all week together and with our groups and stuff. And then he started blowing up in the social commentary space, ended up getting at least in one, if not more, Mr. Beast videos. And it just skyrocketed his ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the thing. Mr. Beast will elevate people pretty high because he puts out this bombastic content. it's not aimed for people my age. I mean, I'm 40. I haven't even watched his Squid Game video. But then again, I've never actually watched an entire Mr. Beast video because I don't like the editing style. Something about it to me, like I've been in calls with Mr. Beast. Like he was being interviewed on a live stream. It was a private live stream I was in. I was just in the chat. And he seems like a really, really nice guy, right? He's just a super nice dude. I have nothing ill to say about Mr. Beast, but his content,
this is not for you.
Not for me. It strikes me as being like there's something about it that seems manufactured. But he also runs with Daryl Eves, who is like a YouTube content guru who also like help. Remember the Squatty Potty unicorn poop video commercial?
It sounds familiar. Yeah, I think so.
Like he was a producer on that. And so he's a smart guy, but he's also very, very business minded. And like once he got in with Mr. Beast, he just pumped and elevated that. And as a result, there's definitely been like a lot that's gone on with Daryl. And I don't think Daryl's a bad guy or nothing, but you know, these are the guys who run with like Gary V and those kind of entrepreneur types that are looking for any angle that they possibly can. And they've got the financial backing to be able to do it. That's the thing is Mr. Beast has got that backing to be able to pull that off. The rest of us don't have that. And so that ends up becoming the disconnect between people like him and the average YouTuber that's like, oh, I want to be like Mr. Beast, but you don't have the money backing you to be like Mr. Beast. You don't have the ability to drop $3 million to design a Squid Game course, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like that's fucking cool. But like, at the same time, he's like, yeah, it cost me $3 million to build this course. And you're like, but just for a video? Just for a fucking video? Like, that is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's very crazy for me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But it's just, that's like one of those things where you're like, God damn. So, oh, you're talking about the saggy bit?
Yeah, I almost
You
fell
son
for
of a
it.
bitch,
I almost fell
RJ.
for it 'cause
You
I saw
son
it,
of
I'm
a
like,
bitch.
I didn't want to say
Sorry.
anything on the stream.
Yeah, sorry. No, I saw you guys. So saggy. So we're kind of like way off topic from where I wanted to be, but that's okay. So for those of you guys who don't know, our friend Saggy Melons has been trolling the ever-loving shit out of Andy Signor. And she's been doing this by getting a bunch of women who know Andy personally to come forward with their stories. And their stories are getting more and more and more kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
and
it's escalating, getting worse.
It's escalating pretty crazily at the moment. And so what we got here, Saggy just dropped this a little bit ago, says, guys, he actually did it. I got a cease and desist from Andy. Okay, now I guess I have to stop talking about him. KC you all Tuesday. And then you look at it here, it's like Andy, feel him up, Signor, Gatorville, Florida, right? Saggy Melons, Boston, Massachusetts, right?
I literally, like, as soon as all I didn't even see that. I just simply saw what RJ said in the thing. I'm like, holy shit. And, like, since you guys are, like, having your convo, I literally just instantly called Saggy,
you know?
and I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Because I was going to call him, like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
It's a good troll. It's a very good troll.
God damn it. I blame RJ. It was all RJ's fault.
Yeah, it's on me. But it looked convincing on the surface.
Dude, because like, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually like, holy fucking shit. Like, oh my god. Like, I was like, really worried. I was like, oh shit, second, like. But to be honest, he would be dumb. He would be dumb. I mean,
if he's
very dumb to sue anybody.
Especially with the concept of Telegram and all the screenshots, all the accounts. It's like John. Oh man.
Well, what you have to remember though about this with Andy, just to kind of show you guys that the thing you have to remember with that is that like if he were to send off a cease and desist, like, or if he was to sue Saggy, he would absolutely have to then back it up in court, and he doesn't want to do that because he knows that video that she has is real. Like, she's been nice enough to not release it. And I mean, you know, because at that point it could get leaked out there, and then he would want to obviously file, you know, some kind of claim. But it's like, well, my computer was hacked or whatever. It's always a argument that can be used, you know. But he, you know, he's really afraid of that video getting out, because that video goes wide, For one, from based upon what I've been told, it's not the most flattering of videos.
Mm.
And if you've seen the remix that Saki made of it, it's
already pretty
clearly
bad,
in high
yeah.
definition.
Very high definition.
It's
like cell
very
phone
high
quality.
definition. I did not realize that.
The phone has the logo. I mean, he has the shirt that he wears on his live stream, and it has very detailed old man beard.
He does, yeah. It's very, very, very trimmed old man beard. Yes.
Oh. Wait, which one are you talking about? Oh, I'm talking about this one.
There's just do you have a thing there? I don't have it up. All right. Oh, shut up. That beard, I need to trim my beard real bad. I need to trim my beard real bad. All right, here,
It
Brian.
looks good. Don't worry about it.
No, it doesn't. It's just
looks
it's
fine.
It's
Hey.
old. Anyway, Ryan here for 5. Thanks, buddy. So speaking of 2D animation, Disney released Oswald the Lucky Rabbit shorts on both their YouTube channel and Givenchy.
I've not.
I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I've heard of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I don't know much about it though.
Yeah, they brought him back for some shorts. See,
Cool.
they lost because that was Walt Disney's original creation before Mickey Mouse, but he lost the rights to it.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, there's a whole backstory too. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, well, there's something there to keep in mind of then. But all right, we're moving on. Captain Marvel 2's apparently plot has got out there, the synopsis.
Yeah, the synopsis, yeah.
So this is what they say. Carol Danvers, a.k.a. Captain Marvel, has reclaimed her identity from the tyrannical Kree and has taken revenge on the Supreme Intelligence. But unintended consequences see Carol shouldering the burden of a destabilized universe. When her duties send her to an anomalous wormhole linked to a Kree revolutionary, her powers become entangled with that of a Jersey City superfan, Kamala Khan, a.k.a. Miss Marvel, and Carol's estranged niece, Captain Monica Rambeau. Together, this unlikely trio must team up and learn to work in concert to save the universe as the Marvels. That sounds pretty terrible. I mean, the movie will be fine. I think Nita Costa is going to do a fine
It's
job.
a very basic plot
It's a
description.
yeah.
I mean, it lets you know, hey, there's something going on in the universe. Like, there's a Kree villain who apparently is like an original villain that came up with the movie. Something's going on. It's causing all of them to switch places, and they have to team up and work together to stop the threat. Pretty simple and basic. So, I mean, it's not anything too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, when does that even come out anyway? That comes out here...
July.
Okay.
So it's going to be
'Cause, yeah.
a July-August movie. So it's going to fall on that weird end of the summer release date.
Oh, yeah, because what is it? We've got Quantumania, Guardians 3, The Marvels. What's their fall movie?
They don't have one.
Wow.
I don't think so, at least. I'll look real quick.
I feel like they should have something.
No, actually, no, because they pushed back Blade. Blade was supposed to come out this year, but they pushed it back.
Yeah.
So after the Marvels is their last movie of the year.
That is surprising, because that leaves the winter open for literally.
And there's no Star Wars movie this year either.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. No Marvel,
so Disney
no
really
Star
has
Wars.
nothing the rest of the year.
That's pretty crazy.
No, but Disney has to have something next year. At the fall. That's crazy.
I mean, they might have something. Okay, Ryan here says Givenchy is a fashion company, and Disney collaborated with them to make 2D animated commercials. Oh, okay. Well, good for Disney.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the release date calendar because there has to be something coming out in the fall. I have a hard time believing that there's nothing.
I mean, didn't they move a couple of release dates around? I haven't paid as close attention.
Yeah, because I'm looking. So the Marvels comes out Friday, July 28th. So, and then the next week, it's the Meg 2 and a new TMNT movie, Mutant Mayhem. Blue Beetle, August 18th. That's probably not going to stick. Equalizer 3 in September. Kraven there's a Marvel movie coming out in October. Kraven the Hunter. That's Sony. So.
Oh, well, they don't want to get in the way of that one, do they? Oh.
Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is November 3rd.
Okay.
November 17th is the Hunger Games prequel. And that's
so there's stuff.
That's
So
it.
there's stuff coming out. There's stuff coming out.
Yeah, but
Is
no
it
Disney.
weird?
No Disney.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that like we have to. I think it'd be really cool. It won't happen, but it would be really cool if they were like, "Hey guys, Avatar 3 is coming out in December 2023."
Yeah, no way, man. They got to spend the extra year on the VFX, but it would have been cool.
Which is so I know. Even I was just looking on 4chan earlier today because I go to their TV board to see what's talked about there, and they were like posting screenshots from unless there was a scene from the movie that was released online that I don't know about. They're showing screenshots from like early on in the film, and it just looks like it's like the visual quality is like holy shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know where these things came from, but goddamn.
I know people in the chat are saying that Aquaman comes out for the winter, but I have no clue it's even going to stick, guys. I really don't.
There is a lot there's a lot of speculation to an extent about whether or not
Any of those DC movies are getting released next year.
I mean, like it would I don't see them not doing it, if I'm being honest with you. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me for them not to do it.
But why not just take the write-offs and take a year-long break from DC before you reboot?
No, I know. That
and the Flash is a disaster anyway because of the Ezra situation, plus the Aquaman 2 situation, Amber Heard. The only one that could be safe is maybe Shazam and Blue Beetle because they're kind of standalone anyway.
No, I know. I definitely agree. I just it's a very
tough place.
It's a very tough place. Yeah. Like the Flash is in July. I mean, no, it's in June. It's in June.
It opens 2 weeks before Indiana Jones and the week after Spider-Verse.
Well, yeah, because they moved up. They moved up
a week to get out of the way of Indiana Jones to have more space for the premium screens.
And
Flash is going to get steamrolled. It's going to get steamrolled.
Oh yeah, I mean, what you got Spider-Verse, and then a week later is the Flash.
Yeah, Spider-Verse.
Transformers will do well.
Sorry, I forgot. Spider-Verse is first, then it's Transformers, then it's the Flash, then it's Indiana Jones. So it's caught right in the middle of all those movies. Okay. And I don't see it being like an Aquaman situation where it's going to have good word of mouth and play through. I just don't. Even if the movie's really good, who's going to care? You know?
Yeah. No, I get that. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen.
It's going to be interesting. The DC drama just never ends. That's the funny thing. It's like, what are they going to do? That's the real question.
I think, I do think that they might figure it out, but it's going to take some time. And honestly, like once they announce their slate next month or what's going on with that, we're going to see some stuff there.
That's what I'm saying. Once they announce that new slate, who cares about these movies? I mean, listen, I'm gonna go see them because I'm a fan. I don't need it to connect. I'm fine with just seeing a good movie by itself, but it's just like it's gonna be tough to get people to want to care about it, or invest their time and money.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay, I hate to say this. I just got sent like a link to a cam copy of Avatar. Fuck, it looks good.
Oh, does it?
Like, it's not perfect, but it is beyond watchable. Like, it is fuck my ass. It looks pretty solid. Wow. Okay, sorry. I got off topic there. That just caught my attention. I was like, holy shit. I really want to go see it again.
Yeah, I know. I'm biting at the nail to go see it again too.
I mean, like if I
pass me that link, big boy.
I'm
yeah, I don't know. I might take that link too. I'm gonna see it again anyway.
So anyway, I thought that was kind of crazy.
Nah, go see it in theaters. Get that box office. Get to fucking 1 trillion. Be the first movie to hit 1 trillion. Let's go, baby.
A 1080p projector of Avatars on the torrents. Wow. You can do crazy shit these days, man. I remember back in the day when it was all just like, hey, get it any way you can, and it was always terrible. But anyway, so
is the next segment the Matt was right segment?
No. I want to show you guys. Did you watch this yet, RJ? Did you see this clip?
Was this the thing they played in IMAX?
I believe this is, well, I don't know. They put this on Twitter today.
Okay.
And I just have to say, I loved Tom Cruise is a crazy son of a bitch. But this is such a great clip. Check this out.
Hey everyone! Here we are over stunning South Africa, and we're filming Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Parts 1 and 2. And I didn't want the year to end without thanking you all for coming out to the theaters, and thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. Hey, here's Chris McCoy, writer, director. Hi everybody, hey. Thank you. Hey, listen, we really got a room. We got to get this shot. Oh, yeah, we're filming. We got to get this shot. All right, are you coming? Not on your line. Good luck. Okay. We'll see you down there. Whoa. Where was I? Oh, yeah, thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. As always, thank you for allowing us to entertain you. It truly is the honor of a lifetime. Yeah. Very lucky. I'm running out of altitude, so I better get back to work. We gotta get this shot. You have a very safe and happy holiday. We'll see you at the movies.
What the hell?
He is a fucking madman.
December 22nd, the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, I saw that today. I just went like, holy fucking shit. That is just, that is like, I was legitimately smiling all the way through that. I really like.
He's a crazy son of a bitch.
But his energy is very, very, very
This
infectious.
is why he's one of the greatest entertainers that we have. I mean,
I would say he is kind of like the last movie star. Really, I would
100%,
argue that.
100%.
You know, like you know that like if there's a Tom Cruise movie, it's an event. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
it's
the
an
only sad thing is that because this is the last Mission Impossible movies, the next two, it's just like, has he reached the end of where he can do this kind of crazy shit? I mean, he's going to space, so I guess not.
Yeah,
but...
he's going to space. He's gonna go up there and shoot a movie with Doug Liman and shit. Like, all right, cool. And I love Liman as a director, so I want to see it. I'll tell you what I want is I'd prefer Live Die, an Edge of Tomorrow 2 is what I'd prefer, because that's I think my favorite Tom Cruise movie is that one. I think it's an amazing film. But it's just like it's just so crazy. It's just nuts. All right, so why don't we talk real quick here about the man of the hour. Oh, sorry, not this image of Henry. Did you see this image of Henry Cavill that I had made?
Yeah, that's
horrifying.
AI art, man.
There you go. Let's talk about this. Happier Henry Cavill with his bae, the lady who got him the $1 million deal over there at Amazon with Warhammer.
Could she be his new manager?
No, she's the executive vice. She's a vice president over at Vertigo. So she's probably overseeing the Warhammer stuff, and Henry's overseeing the Warhammer stuff as well. Again, match made in heaven. He's got to put a ring on that shit. But as we found out today through an announcement, through a Puck News article, Matt Baloney has dropped a little bit of tea, and I expect this to be everywhere tomorrow. Says here, Henry Cavill actually fired Dany Garcia a few months ago before all the DC drama went down. If she was advocating especially hard for Cavill, it was in service of Johnson and perhaps the fear that the movie wasn't strong enough to lure audiences without a buzzy stunt. Alas, any and all of those fears were proven correct.
Okay, so there's a lot of things in there we got to break down. First, so you're telling me that Henry Cavill did in fact fire Dany Garcia? Good.
That is what he's been saying. Yes.
2, if he fired her, you're telling me he fired her months ago? When?
Well, before all the DC drama took place, which means it would have probably been okay. So let's kind of think of it like this: The Rock wanted to use Henry Cavill as a stunt in order to bolster the box office, right?
And gain power.
And the first stunt that he pulled was the Comic-Con stunt. I think at this point we all agree.
Yeah, where he leaked that Cavill could possibly be a Comic-Con.
And when Cavill didn't show up, there was a lot
studio's hand.
Well, there's that, but it also it didn't really force their hand. It showed through their response, like the buzz, that Henry Cavill was important still. That was part of it. But when Henry didn't show up because he got COVID, that actually made it look negative against Henry Cavill, that he was once again playing hardball, right? There was some talks about that. And I do think that negatively impacted Henry more than anything else, because you remember, like, people were expecting this. People were like banking on it. They were counting on it. Their hopes and dreams of Comic-Con were all about the potentiality of that, because they thought that it was real.
People did entire live streams reacting to that panel, just waiting for Henry to walk up on stage.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it didn't happen, and someone asked, "Oh, well, what's going on with Superman?" and The Rock gave that diplomatic response that got him like the joking boo. You know, there was a lot of negative there was negativity with that people were running with, and Henry's the one who caught the backlash, because it was around that same time we got a report that Henry didn't want to have anything to do with it, right? That Warner's had offered multiple times to have him come back. The headless cameo in Shazam, the silhouetted cameo in Peacemaker. Like, they've wanted him to come back, and he just wouldn't do it. Now, why wouldn't he do it? Because he obviously wanted control over where the story goes next. He wanted to pick the director. McQuarrie had come on in with a pitch that Henry was backing back in 2018. They turned that down. So there's a lot going on in the back and forth with him in the studio that we could tell at the time was a big factor for him. And I think The Rock acted without his permission. And I think they made that stunt and it blew back on him. But when they got the go-ahead from DeLuca and Abdi, he jumped on board as a just in case sort of thing. And because he got a $500,000 payout for it, a half day worth of work.
But also he got a verbal agreement that, yes, we'll use you for more potentially.
He got the approval to announce that he was back. I don't know if I'd say that there was a verbal agreement for more.
THR said there was a verbal agreement in terms of, like, there was no contract, but he did a verbal agreement with the studio or something. I have to go back and look at the exact quote.
Okay. But I mean, I think the idea there, though, is that, like, there definitely was something that you could tell that they probably wanted to work with him, because I think they maybe saw that the social media hype surrounding those 12 days before we saw Henry Cavill on screen, but we all knew that it was there. Mm-hmm. And I think they were like, okay, this could be it. But when the box office didn't respond in kind, and they realized that it wasn't enough, you know, it was just like it was like a Band-Aid on a bullet hole sort of thing. I think then also remember, 2 days later, they hired James Gunn. So
they hired James Gunn the day after he put out that video on Instagram. Yeah, the next day.
So it's like, I mean, so obviously, and then you're hearing, there's been some commentary online about how, what was it that, like, that, you know, DeLuca was wanting to make this thing a reality while Zaslav was talking to Dan Lin. But then when that fell through, they decided to offer it up to Gunn and Safran. And so I do think that DeLuca and Abdi had their own plans or an idea of what they wanted to do, to kind of be almost like the opposite of Hamada, because Hamada had shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. Like, why would DeLuca and Abdi, knowing that they were about to hire a new DC head or were looking for somebody to fill a position, greenlight a cameo that they knew may not actually lead anywhere? Was it just because they believed in The Rock when he said it would help the box office, and maybe they just wanted to get more money out of the film?
Yeah, just selfish reasons.
Yeah, or was it because they thought that if they did that, it would kind of flex their power, to where it kind of would, like, let them know, like, hey,
like,
DC
force them hand. It would like to my mind, like, it would like force their hand. Like, hey, we got Cavill back. We did something that everyone wants. You should probably listen to us because we are listening to fans. We know what the fans want. We're giving the fans what, you know. But it's like, dude, is this what your new bosses want? Is this what your new bosses want? That's another question that I don't even think they give a fuck about. Like,
well, the thing is, though, it's like the studio is having trouble with, you know, with everything, right? The studio is having trouble with trying to get, you know, that they need money, and they obviously need a way to figure out, like, how to make cash. And we've talked about it before in regards to going back, to finding out, like, younger talent that's going to be able to be cheaper and they could find a way to have a smaller budget for these movies. You know? So, so there's that, right? There's different stuff there on that particular front. However, I do feel that where we are in regards to this scenario is we can kind of see if this is true. I saw Eric making a comment about that. Is there the trade, or will the trades mention firing? I mean, as news spreads, but Matt Baloney's pretty on point with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, Matthew Baloney wouldn't put that in there if there's any doubt about that. I mean, this is a guy who used to be editor-in-chief and used to write for THR, so he knows his stuff. He has his information. I'm sure one of the trades will pick up something once Cavill signs like a new agency or something, maybe.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely like, there's a lot of good stuff there. I think that's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But with any luck, we'll get more out of it. You know, with any luck, we'll definitely get.
It's just a crazy situation, and again, I think
it is crazy.
We've wanted Cavill to have better representation anyway. I feel like a lot of us. So,
but I thought the comment I thought was like, okay, I said, you know, like I was the one. Like I actually looked this up tonight. I said, what's the difference between an agent and a manager? Right? Like I just wanted to make sure I was correct in my assumption. But an agent looks at where a talent is right now. A manager looks at where a talent will be in like 5-10 years. So they're the ones plotting the course for down the road. The agents are the one handling the day in and day out stuff right now. So Dany Garcia was still heavily involved in trying to make sure that Cavill, his career down the road was going to be okay. But like I said, they kind of left him out to the lurch for the last like 3-4 years. You know?
What's crazy to me too is like, did Dany Garcia try using her old client to lift up her ex-husband and her current client? Like that's
what I'm thinking.
It's her ex-husband's also her business partner.
Yeah.
So she
gets
she's a
because of
conflicting
that,
interest, bro.
Yeah.
Cavill was sacrificial lamb for her too.
Yes, in my opinion, Cavill was served up as a way to flex their muscle because they looked at the social media and they thought, look, the Snyder fans, they want Henry Cavill back as Superman. Everybody, you know, they probably thought everybody wants him back as Superman. We're seeing all this data pop up saying they want him back as Superman. Let's get him in the movie. But what they did was they did something even less significant than the cameo at the end of Shazam. You know what I mean? Like the cameo in Black Adam is still, in my mind, less significant than the cameo at the end of Shazam.
Yeah,
because I think yeah, I mean, I love Shazam, but I still think at the end of Shazam, if we would have seen Cavill, especially with Freddie Highmore, not Freddie Highmore, what's that kid's name? I forget the kid's name, but you guys know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
His reaction would have been, "Oh my god!" You know, it would have been like that would have been the elevating factor of it.
It would have made the movie.
That would have made like that fan reaction would have just killed. Like, oh my god, erupted. That's like for sure. But like for Black Adam, I just the cameo was like, oh cool, you know, Henry Cavill's there. I mean, it was dope, and it was kind of like, oh, hopefully this leads to something, and all it led was nothing.
I have something extremely petty and hilarious to show you real quick.
Do it, please.
Do it, RJ. Do it.
I pulled it up. This is the Batfleck movie account saying, everyone tweet these pictures and tag Elon Musk, #fire James Gunn. Because he has links to Instagram and Mastodon on his profile. He's encouraging everyone to tag Elon Musk to ban him.
Oh my god.
This is where we're at, folks.
Right? And this is why the Snyderverse is never being restored.
This account is like kissing ass to Elon Musk just to get James Gunn off of social media.
This is why I just want to go watch Avatar 2 again.
There's a lot of kissing ass in terms of the Snyderverse. Like, Sil and the Mikeyverse fucking sucking off The Rock. Now it's just like there's a lot of fucking dick riding going on.
Yeah, because if people get it right, then they're going to be all sorts of happy with that.
Yeah, they cling on to anyone who can give them what they want.
That's why I'm happy we can just put all this behind us because we just have the answers finally a little bit. So
yeah, but now we have RJ dick riding James Gunn. Just kidding.
Well, that's okay. All right, so why? Okay, so where are we at? Like, okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about fucking Avatar. All right, let's talk about Avatar. So here's the thing, guys. It's 1 hour, 34 minutes in. We'll probably talk about 15, 20 minutes about Avatar. We are going to get into some of the spoilers. So that's going to happen. Yeah. No. I see it. I see it. Rational. Trust me. I see that's a very good looking clip. He sent me a screenshot of what Avatar looks like. This copy of it. I kind of want to show you guys actually, right? I kind of want to show you guys. Like this is okay. Do I think that this is going to end up taking away from the amount of money that Avatar is going to make? Oh, hell no. Right? I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. Let me, all this, fuck, God damn it. I'm trying to like get it to work and it's not wanting to work. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this is a shot of the bootleg copy that's floating around out there right now. All right. And there's like, I guess you could say minor spoiler if you haven't seen the movie. It's not even a spoiler. It's like if you've seen the trailer, right? You know what's happening.
Shot or something, but yeah.
Right. I'm just letting you guys know. You're gonna check out because you don't want it spoiled. Yeah, look, I completely understand that, dude. There you go. I know Avatar isn't bombing. I know Avatar is not bombing. We're just it was a clickbait. It was a clickbait fucking title, dude. But this is the shot. Look at this. This is a screenshot.
Holy shit.
Right? This is
really
what
good. That's really good.
That's really good.
That's like watching Disney Plus.
Holy shit.
You think that's good? Look at that.
Hold up, but did you also just do it? Nah, I don't think it. Never. I was gonna say, is it a spoiler showing this?
No, it's not. It's not because there's no context to the scene. But I'm just saying it's like
that's fucking nuts, dude. That's nuts.
That's like a direct rip from the file.
It is a direct rip. Yeah, that's a massive rip. But here's the thing with that: even though that rip exists, I still
I want to see in the theater, dude.
Really want.
Yeah, no, in the theater.
The
sound quality, the big screen, the popcorn, everything. Even though my dad oversalted my fucking popcorn,
never put salt on your popcorn.
My
never
dad
put
loves
salt or butter
salt
on your
in
popcorn.
the middle.
Dude, it's like it's got flavor call on there, right? The flavor call is what gives it the salty side of it.
But my dad accidentally dumped way too much, also just woof, and I'm like. Then also I'm like, oh my god!
Listen, I like butter on my popcorn.
Same, I like both. I fucking love that shit.
The butter is just oil, dude. Don't get butter. Get jalapeno juice. Put jalapenos.
Fuck, am I trying to shit in the middle of the?
No, you're not gonna fucking shit. Those are sweet jalapenos. They're not that big of a deal. No, dude, trust me. Salty sweet, salty sweet, salty sweet. Way better. If you want it even better, bring ground pepper from home.
I'm gonna bring my whole fucking sauce pantry with me to the goddamn movies like I'm fucking Salt Bay.
I fucking worked at theaters, dude, for so many fucking years. Popcorn is in my blood, literally.
So, like, I'm gonna go roll up to the theater with a fucking fanny pack full of sauces.
Matt probably literally has sodium issues and diabetes because of the popcorn.
It's entirely possible. That's where my type 2 came from. Yeah, it's maybe. I don't know, man. But every time I go see a movie, I still get popcorn. I just don't get butter on it or nothing. All right, this is RJ bringing this up. This is what happened to him today.
This is my experience. So when I went to go see Avatar, The Way of Water today, it was a grand premium experience. First time going to this theater, leather reclining seats, the works, 3D. They start saying the movie will now, like, that Regal thing that they play, like the movie's about to start. It's like that lady whispering. Cuts to black. This pops up. What the hell is this? I've never seen this happen before. Have you ever, like, your projectionist, Matt? Like, what is this?
I was never a digital projectionist. I've only worked on 35 mil.
Okay.
But I have accidentally burned a print live. It was actually Star Wars Episode 3.
Oh, how dare you!
I threaded it wrong, and it was I literally had been a manager for like 2 months, so I was still making some mistakes. But it was only it was part of the trailer. It wasn't actually part of the movie. But it was like something had caught with one of the trailers, and it just froze. And then it just burned. I looked up real quick, and I just see the image on the screen melt. And I just had to fucking immediately cut it, resplice it. I mean, it was easy to resplice. That shit's fucking easy. But yeah, but I've seen problems.
I've never seen this happen before. So
I had issues.
I did see it actually. I did see it once happen. It was Pain and Gain actually.
Yeah.
No. When did Pain and Gain come out? Pain and Gain that was
2013 or 14.
Yeah. It was Pain and Gain. The file corrupted on us. It was first night, first showing. the file corrupted on us, and we had to get them to like to basically like courier us another hard drive. And the DHL guy literally had to drive from LA to Santee, which is like East County, San Diego, with the new hard drive for us to get it ingested into the system and then be able to actually like put it in there. Right? Like, yeah. I'm not even kidding you.
So for me, at least, this white thing popped up where it said active desktop recovery. I guess their computer system. I don't know what the hell happened, but it would go black, then it would pop back to this, black, pop back to this. About 10 minutes later, the movie finally loaded, but it only played the 3D trailers. So I only got Guardians, Ant-Man, and another one.
See, I didn't see anything. I was really bummed. But that's okay. I mean,
yeah. The John Wick one that at my theater was good, but I did have issues with mine. It just during the trailers, like it literally looks like if you took your head and you just started fucking shaking it, it just made everything like super blurry and out of focus. And like I was like, holy fuck, I'm gonna have an aneurysm looking at this.
It was just great. Well, the good thing is,
but they restarted the whole thing and we had to rewatch the trailer.
I mean, the good thing about this happening is that because this happened and the movie thing crashed, it only played the trailers like actually attached to the movie file. So it only played Transformers, Guardians, and Ant-Man. So I didn't have to wait very long for the movie to start, thankfully. But
that's good.
That was good. Crazy. Because if I would have had to wait like 15 minutes for the movie to start, and then the trailers, it would have been like an hour of trailer. I would have been pissed. But thankfully,
yeah, I feel like we all had issues, some sort of issue with Avatar. Going to see it at theaters, which I mean, it just had oh shit, choking on my popcorn.
Choke.
I would have loved it though if we would have had a technical problem and it would have delayed it by a little bit longer. That would have been nice
for you. Yeah.
Well, the worst thing that ever happened to me. Did I tell you what happened when I went to go see Terminator: Dark Fate?
You went to see that in theaters?
Shut the fuck up.
Besides that.
Fuck you both. I like that movie.
No joke. So the projector started and the movie was about to start. You know, the AMC it does a little animation and the movie starts. Well, it cut to black and the lights went off, or the lights came back up, and we were sitting there for 45 minutes waiting for the movie to start. People were so pissed off. It probably didn't help the movie experience either, but oh well.
Hey, none of you have ever been in the projection room when you start a movie and the bulb explodes. Inside the projector when you're right next to it.
Private chat about a guy actually threading an IMAX thing, and it's it's a 5-minute clip. I just kind of trimmed it.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I will gladly share that TikTok link in the chat or give it to someone who can, because I'm not a mod. Because it's so interesting to see how it's done.
You have to be very specific with the 3D IMAX on the 70mm print. So when we first got the very first IMAX in San Diego, a guy that I was going to college with, or I just graduated college, but we went to college together. He actually was hired away from another theater to go and run the IMAX projector at this theater, because that's how well he was regarded. He's one of those super cinephile kind of guys, wears gloves and shit when he's putting everything together, it's all pristine.
So he's the Salt Bay of the
yeah.
world.
He was really well. I mean, out of all the projectionists in San Diego, they went with a 23-year-old guy because he was the best, And so, but on the opening night of Spider-Man 3, when they were running 24-hour screenings for 3 days straight because of how much that shit was selling out, I actually got tickets for a 2 a.m. show. It was a 4 a.m. show after I got off work that night. And he was there and he took me up and showed me the projection room and showed me the 70mm projector. And he was he goes, this print of Spider-Man 3 is 80 reels. 80. And they take about 15 minutes each to put together because you got to be precise. And I'm fuck. Because here's the thing. Once you start the movie, you can't stop the movie. That's not just IMAX. That's literally every projector. If there is a problem, you have to run it through. You can shut the projector down and then you can figure out a way to make it work.
Such as like a frame or something being upside down.
So and that goes to digital projectors too, right? So once it starts going, you can't stop the movie.
Nope. You can stop, rewind, pause, whatever you want to do. That's fine. Yeah,
okay.
You can totally do that. Yeah,
it's digital. That's probably why a lot of them
are
going digital.
No, you couldn't.
No, the old, you know, because we had it once. Like I've said, we've had a movie before where my boss accidentally put up like the wrong. He mixed up reels, so he accidentally like reel 4, reel 5 got mixed up. So he had to like stop the movie, thread it through again real quick, get it all the way through, and you can make it go faster. But it's like it's you can crank the speed on the platters up to get it to go through. But then he had to go and he had to splice it, and then he had to reel it back together, and then had to go and wait and put on the next movie because we had the co-feature, run that co-feature, and then go back and we showed it again. I mean, if you fuck up, that's how it works. There were some nights even at the drive-in where I fucked up and I accidentally started the wrong movie first because we had the co-feature. It was like the main feature, the co-feature, and then the main feature played again. I accidentally ran the co-feature as the main feature. So this is like in 2005 when Dukes of Hazzard came out. I forget what it was playing with, but we had Dukes of Hazzard playing as the co-feature, and I ran it first. And so that I had to run the main feature twice, and people got pissed. I'm like, because it was a mistake. Like, what was I supposed to do? I can't do anything with that. If those mistakes happen, then they happen. It's projection work is fun, but it's like, it's crazy shit. But anyway, all right, here. Rational here says, Matt, how do mom and pop theaters get A-list films? Through a booker.
Yeah. Through
a booker. They go through a booker. The booker will negotiate the deal with the studio and they'll work the deal out with them. That's how we got A-list films. We had top tier movies all the time. We went through a booker. Bookers will often run, they'll like, if it's a chain like Regal, Cinemark, AMC, they've got corporate bookers. If it's a smaller chain, they might go through more independent people. So there's that. Eric here asking, did I work with digital projectors? Is there a risk of someone bringing in USB and copying the files? I didn't work with them directly, but like we worked around them. And no, you can't do that. Like you can't do that at all. It doesn't work that way. The files are encrypted, and many times they get sent encryption key codes that have to go on a USB dongle. They get emailed over, right? So you just like take the text file, put it on a USB drive, plug it into the projector, and then that allows you to play it. And they'll even stop you from playing the movie early, right? So back in the day when like we would get a movie on Tuesday sent to us that opens up on Friday, and sometimes they would have locks on the cases, on the cans. And they wouldn't fax us or email us the combination to unlock those until Friday. So then we had to put it together and hope to God that it was fine because we couldn't test it. So, now what they'll do is they'll be like, okay, you can do a screener of the movie to make sure that the print works, but it can only be at like between these hours on this day. You know what I mean? So like they prevent you from just kind of playing it whenever you want to test it. And they make you hold it till a certain time. But so for us, it was always so late. That's why we would do we'd screen the movie, but it'd be like 2:00 in the morning. We'd get off work, get everything done. I'd get a phone call from the manager, from whoever's managing. They're like, all right, I think it was like Godzilla 2014. Like, it's like, okay, we got the movies done. We're going to play Godzilla. Get your ass down here. All right, I'll be there in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like to jump my car, race on down to the theater, get my soda, get my popcorn, whatever. And then to sit down and watch the movie. That's the kind of shit we did back in the day. And they still do it now because it doesn't technically change. Also, Command Unit here for 10. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. We'll check this trailer out here as soon as we're done. Because I know you still have to talk a bit about the Avatar. You cannot connect a capture card to the projector. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. If it
did, it would happen. We would get piracy more often.
Believe me, if there was piracy available for this shit, they would have already cracked the code. Most of the studio, like even the drive-in, got a digital projector 10 years ago. So it's like they got a digital projector they got it in like 2010, I think. Probably, and they invested $500,000 into getting 2 of them. That's how expensive it was, but it made the quality of the movie a lot better, you know? So, I mean, but that's kind of the whole point is like, no, trust me, if there was a better way to do it, they would do it. What you're going to deal with now are you're going to have cameras that have the ability to shoot in 4K, and people will be able to just put a camera on a fucking tripod when no one's there, run it, record the movie, and the sound will be okay. You know, actually, this is true. Back in like 2013, 2014, somewhere in there was a guy who got busted by the MPAA because what he would do is he would go to his local drive-in and he would record the audio out of his speaker of the movie, and then he would upload the audio to some piracy website for people to put that over the copy that they get.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So,
crazy.
okay. I know, right? So like what, think about like you get a camera and the camera doesn't have the best microphone. This is like how it was back in the day. Camera doesn't have the best microphone.
So the audio would be shitty.
The audio would be terrible, blown out. You'd hear people talking, whatever, right? But then someone comes and they get a nice clean audio rip. And they take it so then those people are able to then drop it on top of that, sync it up, upload that copy of the movie. And now you've got a movie. Sure, the visuals may not be great, but the fucking audio sounds okay. And Spielberg said it best, where we are 49% visual, 51% auditory. If something sounds good, we can overlook the shitty graphics or the shittier quality because our brain can process the rest of that data.
True.
And we can still get a similar experience. But if the visual quality is good and the audio is terrible, you don't have that connection and it actually worsens the experience.
Yeah.
Someone who's seen a lot of films online, like that, I can definitely attest to that. Like, I'm no joke.
Someone who's engaged in the high seas, but not really.
Hey, it ain't my fault that they uploaded to YouTube and shit. It ain't my problem. I'm just there for the fun.
I mean, all things considered, that is how I saw the post-credit scene on Morbius, like the night that the previews happened. Like it's I think it was RJ or you or somebody sent, maybe it was Caden, sent me the link at like 1:00 in the morning. They're like, oh, the post-credit scene for Morbius is on YouTube. And I just I watched it. I'm like, okay, it's as bad as I thought. I'm good. I'm okay with this movie, sort of thing. I should get a red I haven't filmed anything in years. A red camera would be kind of ridiculous. But Benson here says, my phone records in 8K, not hard to use a 4K camera. Yeah, but the sensor's different. And Rational's right. It's not native 8K. It's upscaled. The quality is still good. But, there's that there. Thomas here says, I watched Avengers Infinity War on Pornhub. Somebody put the whole film up there.
I remember that. It was a big deal when that happened.
I'm just saying, it's like, porn will always find a way, but the piracy angle of it too, it's like, yeah, people, people engage in it, obviously. There was actually I think it was in Nigeria or Uganda, somewhere in Africa, someone put a Redbox type device in the mall. And what it did, because there's no like copyright there. There's no MPAA in this country. And what it would do is you would go into the computer, right? The service, you plug in your USB drive and you would tell it, okay, I want this movie or this movie or this movie, whatever's new in theaters. You'd pay money to the thing and it would automatically download a video file to your USB drive.
Wow.
That is how it would do it back in the day. Back in this country. I mean, there was an article I read when I lived in LA about, I think it was in the LA Times, about a guy who literally gets on the city bus every day, travels all day long on the city bus, and he sells bootleg copies of movies on the city bus in LA.
What?
We're like, yeah. The bootlegging, if you can, you don't think it's a lucrative business. It can be a lucrative business if done the right way. And a lot of these smaller guys figured out, people who don't want to sit there and deal with like potential MPAA, because I don't think, RJ, you were too young for all of the copyright claims that came in, right? Like when,
yeah,
when like the RIAA and the MPAA was just blanket sending all this shit out. You know what I mean? Like you had like some guy's grandmother. He was downloading all this shit, but because it was her name on the internet, she got slapped with the fees, and they were suing fucking everybody. And if you got an email from your service provider because you were torrenting something and you got caught in that, it was an actual fearful fucking event back then, because you don't know if that's the one that's going to get you sued. And then eventually, like, telecom companies came out with this like 6 strike system. So you had to get 6 strikes in order to finally potentially be ruled out for being busted. You know what I mean? And all it does is just force people to go further underground. But nowadays, you don't even need, torrents aren't even the bigger. I don't even think torrents are the biggest thing anymore. Torrents are easy and they're lazy, in my opinion. But it's like, this is the stuff that where pirates go. But people who don't want to deal with that are the ones who will be probably more likely than not to purchase them. And I think that's wrong. I think that's like, piracy ain't great, but like if you're selling it, that's wrong.
Yeah.
So, there's all that crap. Let's see here. Eric says, do you remember the work print leak for Revenge of the Sith back in 2005? It was the best quality leak of a film ever. It never happened again. Never, ever heard of that one, actually.
I've heard of the infamous X-Men Origins Wolverine leak.
Yep. I actually avoided that until I got sick right before the movie came out. And a friend of mine he just tossed me the disc. He's like, you're sick. Just go home and watch it. I'm like, all right, fine. So I watched it and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. So it was a really solid leak. But I mean, I remember Expendables 3, the DVD quality copy of it got leaked out 3 weeks before the movie came out. I actually never watched it. I never saw the movie, but I thought that was fucked up. But I was on a plane flying to, I think I was flying to California, or maybe flying back from California. And there was somebody on a portable DVD player on the airplane watching Expendables 3 before it hit theaters. I mean, most people just don't care, right? Like they don't care about it. Because look, we have to realize when it comes to piracy is that a vast majority of people who actually engage in it will actually pay for the goods. A lot of people, I personally believe this. I think a lot of people buy a lot of, like, they want to buy a lot of stuff. They want physical media, but there's been this massive restriction on physical media. And it's like, look at the fact that The Mandalorian, why isn't The Mandalorian in 4K?
I know, it needs to be on Blu-ray already. But
if you could sit there and if you could download like very high res 4K copies of it that are online, and believe me, they exist, and then burn those to a disc yourself to have your own physical copy, would you do it? Just in case whatever happens, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I probably would, but then there becomes that moral, ethical question of, is this the right thing to do? And my take on it is this. If you are denying people the opportunity to buy something so they can have a physical copy of it on the offset chance they are not connected to the internet, you are inviting this on yourself. And I have zero sympathy for your fucking company in this matter, because you are now going out of your way to make sure that people are not able to get access to something that they should be able to get access to, and they want to spend money to do it. That's the thing. Like Netflix used to put out their original series on DVD and on Blu-ray. They're not doing that anymore. What happens if the net goes if I go out of town, if I don't have access to internet, but I want to watch something? It's I don't know. I just think it's really, really, really ridiculous. Command Unit here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says Russia is basically a private state at this point. They are showing pirated movies in theaters and have a booming piracy industry. I mean, yeah, they've ever since this whole Ukraine thing happened, they got rid of Krispy Kreme is now like Crunchy Cream or something.
Crunchy Cream.
Yeah, seriously. Like McDonald's left the country, and they just reopened McDonald's with all the same shit.
It's just different name.
Just a different name, yeah.
Makes sense.
Timothy here says, I torrent all the shows from streaming services I don't pay for. I mean, people do that, but it's like, there's that one. Rational says, remember a Blu-ray quality of The Force Awakens while the film was still in theaters? I don't actually. So, I really, I don't remember all that Stitch, to be fair. You know, I mean, Eric here says, I still collect Blu-rays and DVDs and vinyls of my favorite TV shows, movies, and albums because I want to own them. Well, that's what a lot of people want to do. But the thing is, like, you can't always get that, you know, like you just can't get it. And it's like streaming is meant to be easy and approachable and everything else, but they end up just making it like, you know, if they back a consumer into a corner, they can't be mad if that consumer then finds alternate means. Sorry, not sorry. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, lots of stuff.
Box office.
Yeah. So box office of Avatar, as we now hit the 2-hour mark. I only want to go for like another half hour, then I gotta get to bed. But it says here, Avatar: The Way of Water dominates with 134 million domestic and 435 million globally.
It sounds good. It sounds good.
It sounds good, but it did
then
come
you dive
in,
into it a little more, and then it's like,
Well, it did definitely have some.
It did not beat Multiverse of Madness for the biggest opening of the year.
Wow.
It actually fell short.
Yeah, even Spider-Man: No Way Home, 600 million globally.
So, surprised by that? I mean,
no, I'm not actually surprised by that.
I mean, listen, this is like, I want to make it very clear to everybody. By no means, like, I think Matt said this earlier, by no means is this movie a flop. Like, this did very good. This is a very solid opening. I think the expectations were just that this would be like the biggest movie of the year out the gate, and it's not.
But there's a reason for that, though.
No, I know, I agree.
And
I wanted to say too, the story of this movie does not end in one weekend. This is going to be a very long play. This movie's going to play all through December, all through January. So.
Oh yeah, I dude, like, I want to see it again. This obviously to see what I missed in the beginning, and I really dug the story. The last 90 minutes are fucking awesome. You know, like, I really enjoyed the new characters. I enjoyed the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that you can kind of see what they're setting up.
Yeah. And the best thing about it, I tweeted this. It's just like they're set up for the next movies, but you don't feel cheated out of story. Like, you get a satisfying beginning, middle, and end with good hooks for next time.
Oh yeah. Like the one. Well, I don't want to say what it is necessarily. But
we're not there yet, but we're almost there.
I'm just saying, it's like there's some really good stuff at the end of that movie. That makes you, because again, like, there's a lot of, I talked about this a bit in my review of it, and I was like, there's themes throughout the movie, like there's about placement, where you are, who you are, where you stand with your tribe, and also being in the shadow of who's come before you, you know, and that's a big theme throughout the movie.
Yeah, legacy, themes of legacy, too, fatherhood.
Yeah, and it's like, and like what it can do. Can that change people? Can that, you know, what does that make you a different person? And then each person kind of goes through their different way. You know, the way that Jake and the kids are, it's like, you know, his two sons, like, he raises them kind of differently, but they also represent different facets of who he is. And that's why he raises them differently. It reminded me of, I think it was like episode 4 or 5 of the first season of The Walking Dead. There is a conversation with the two sisters in a boat, and they were talking about how because they're like 10 years apart or whatever, and how their dad raised them differently based upon their styles, based upon their personalities. And I thought that was really fascinating and a really deep conversation about how you raise kids and about how you approach that. Some children need to catch the fish. Some children need to let the fish go. Like, there are elements that always happen with the differing personalities. And this movie really touched upon that in a number of ways. Also opening up questions about just exactly what's going on and just about how exactly connected the planet is to one another. You know, and there's a lot going on with that. That's going to be really fascinating as time goes on. And I think people are going to go watch the movie multiple times. I really do. I think the spectacle is definitely there.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then people are going to have their favorite moments. They're going to have their favorite shots. I mean, I was blown away with the underwater stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, because I mean, it's kind of like getting into the review a little bit of what I've thought about it. But the thing is like, for me, I like the first movie. I do. I think it's a good movie, but it's not like I got Avatar. You know, it wasn't like this movie made me a believer because now it's like watching this movie, it clicked into my head what exactly James Cameron's going for, what he's doing now. Now I get why it's a universe, why it's a franchise. Like it clicked in my head. And like I said, I saw this in premium 3D. I have never in my entire life ever seen a movie that looked this good. Like visually, with the visuals and the 3D combined, it was such a seamless experience that I was blown away. Because like I said, I put the glasses over my glasses, you know, so you figured it would suck. No, didn't. I was totally fine with it. And I know you didn't like the high frame rate. I loved it. And I thought I was going to hate it. When it started doing it, during the opening logos, I was like, ah, damn it, I'm going to hate this. It's going to look like shit. No. Within about the first 5 minutes, took my eyes a second to adjust. I was good. It was perfect. And compared this to The Hobbit, this was the best use of high frame rate in any movie I've ever seen ever. The best use of 3D. Like, after seeing this movie and what it did visually and what it did in terms of, like, seamlessly using this technology and the way the visuals looked, I can't go back. Like, to me, this is the future of the premium blockbuster. Like, if they could make movies look like this all the time, theaters would be booming in business. Because, like I said, this is like one of the most mind-blowing experiences I've ever had. It really is. I'm not trying to overhype it. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody, but if you see this in a premium format, like IMAX, XD, whatever, 3D, I mean, you're going to walk away wanting every movie to be like this, truly. Because it just blew me away. It really did.
No, I agree that the visuals were outstanding. There was times where I'm looking at it and it comes across as like
photorealism.
Like photorealistic.
Yeah.
But then I also noticed that when it comes to the high frame rate, there's a fair amount of stutter at times as well.
See, maybe that's just I don't know how to explain it, Matt, but just like because I watched your review and I was like, I get maybe where you're coming from with the high frame rate, but for me, I didn't notice any of that. I really didn't. I don't know if just because I'm used to higher frame rate because I play a lot of video games like all the time, like because I have a 120.
Oh, if you're playing on
FPS TV.
If you're playing on a PS5, that shit's usually like 60 frames, right? But it's also possible that like this Cinemark XD, it's a bit of a smaller theater. It's not like a big, massive theater. I don't want to say we were close, but like we were definitely not as far back.
That was what I was going to mention too. Like,
as I plan on seeing the movie again, I'm going to sit further back to get like a better perspective of it. That might have been a problem with it. It's a bit like, you know, there's shots like when you see like the submarine exit out of the ship, right? And it goes into the water. I mean, it looks like you're watching a fucking documentary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It looks like the fucking crab walkers are awesome.
Too, and this has been mentioned on social media as well, but the way the character Spider's integrated with the CGI environments, seamless.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't feel like it's like a green screen and like this character's just walking around in like a made up land. I feel like I could physically touch stuff.
Dude, it's just me trying to wrap my head around like, yo, so like this guy's like, how the fuck do they mix it so well? That's why I'm like, damn, like this, like, it's just crazy what they're able to do with this film, and it just
and like I said, I know we're kind of moving into a review, but I want to say this too. Like I said, I liked the first movie. I rewatched it last night before I went to go see this one in the afternoon. I think the first movie's a good setup for this world, but I think this sequel has infinitely more interesting characters. Like the Sully family being set up in this movie, they were great. The family dynamic was perfect. Like I'm attached to these characters now, and not just having it be Jake and Neytiri and having it be about their kids too. Like these kids are infinitely interesting because there's so much going on in terms of they're very layered characters, you know, and that's kind of the thing too, where it's just like, and it's not about. I'm not trying to diss the first movie, but I'm saying it's like the first movie is setting up the world. The second movie, I feel like, is setting up the characters more, you know.
Yeah, I think one of the problems too is I agree with you. I think Neytiri got a little bit of a little bit.
Which that was the only disappointing thing. I mean, she got great action. It's just that in terms of the story, she didn't do a lot.
And we're kind of moving into spoiler territory here, but like at the end of the movie, when that thing happens, I looked at my dad and I just went like, she's gonna murder everyone.
And she does.
And she does. Oh my God. She fucking picks up okay. She fucking shoots a guy. Spoilers. She shoots a guy with a bow and arrow. It's through his chest. She picks up the body, strings the bow through the guy, fires it through his body and into another motherfucker.
Dude, she was fucking badass.
In the head.
I was losing my shit.
Everyone.
And the sound effects for when she shoots people in the head, like she does it all the time. I'm just like, oh, it's so gnarly. It's so satisfying, bro.
Even Core just like, oh shit. But the best thing in the movie, no joke, I my jaw was in the floor when the
Blarg ears. I just walked in and all I hear is she murdered those guys, and I already know exactly what scene you're talking about.
dude, she is such a fucking badass in this movie, bro.
That made my jaw drop was when the one flipper whale who we got to know throughout the whole movie was smart enough to wrap that cable, got the guy stuck, and then it ripped his
arm off,
dude. Yes,
and you're like, and you're just like, you're like, karma, motherfucker.
Dude,
I was cringing. I was cringing like when it like his arm got stuck before it got ripped off. I was like, oh, it's like, oh, imagine the pain.
I saw the
protest. That's an L take. Like, it's not that they're fighting whalers. It's a more personal story. That's what I liked about it. It's just like, it wasn't just a massive war. It was more like this family fighting for survival.
Right. Well, okay, but you also have to look to see like why they're fighting the whalers. All right. Yeah. Why are they fighting the whalers? Well, that's because that's what Quaritch wanted as a way to snuff them out. He wanted to lure them out. So he used the whalers as a way, because he knows how connected to the world they are, how everything is connected. All right. And how like they're all symbiotic. And that's why when they killed the mom and the calf, he's like, no, leave them. Don't sink them. Leave them. We want them to know that it was us.
Bodies. Yeah.
But they fucking killed the kid.
Oh no. So did they kill the kid, or did the kid just die? Because it wasn't like, we're not talking. This was a lot of days, RJ. All right. Oh no, this is like right away. Yeah.
This is like right away. Like they fucking murdered that kid. They murdered that kid, and they did
the whales like the. Okay, so my dad was kind of iffy on this. Thought it was cheesy. I didn't mind it, but did you like the fact that they could talk to the whales? Actually, physically talk to them.
So the first time they talk to the whale, when the whale responds and says that it's too painful to talk about his memory.
Yeah, my dad thought that line was really cheesy.
I thought it was cheese. I thought that was probably the worst part of the movie in regards to the cheese factor.
Like the dialogue, yeah.
But the dialogue wise, because I'm like, okay, like I get that they have to establish a line of communication between the two. I get it.
Well, the bond,
they have to do it.
You have to do the
bond, the bond, yeah.
Whale and low talk, because that sets up the third act.
Yeah, and so like I get that, and so I'm like, okay, they just have to do it. And then after that, it seems to make sense. Like you don't notice it, because also it's like when Loak goes into his mouth and then connects and then gets to see his visions of it.
And it's like Free Willy War.
Oh, dude, when that fucking whale, man, when he sees Loak down there and he's working himself up, right? He's getting himself ready to go. That part was awesome. He's just shredding shit in the bottom of the floor, and then just goes full ham on everybody. Was so great.
Oh yeah, he just lets.
No, but when they fire the explosive tip harpoon at him, and he just fucking deflects it with his head. Well, that was the whole thing too. And did you notice that was Jermaine Clement?
Yeah,
as the biologist.
What a weird cameo. Did he die or did he survive? We don't know.
No, he survived. He survived. Okay. He survived. But the thing is, though, is like he also got rid of his New Zealand accent.
Yeah, that's what threw me off. Well, he kind of had he had a little bit of an accent, didn't he?
Yeah, but it wasn't like his accent is normally very. It's you can tell Jermaine Clement when he talks. Yeah. Like I've been watching, Flight of the Conchords, man, fucking huge fan of that. Like my dad and I were talking about that when we were going. I'm like, yeah, that was the biologist guy. That was the fucking crab from Moana. He's like, what? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, he just like toned down his accent quite a bit.
Yeah, you're hoping he was going to start singing Shiny.
So I know, kind of. Right. But I thought the fact that like he was sitting there going like, we don't know how smart these things are. Like they can do looking at their brain.
He had a feeling that's like, they're way smarter than us. Like these might be the most intelligent creatures on ever, like in the universe.
Yeah.
Kinda. Which makes sense. And then like on Earth, whales and dolphins are smart, like very smart. So imagine you just take that times 10,
Yeah. But then the fact that all they need to do is they drill out just one vial
And
of that
that's
shit.
it. All of that, this giant, this little bit.
But it stops aging in its tracks.
That was interesting.
And I'm like, I want to see that play out. Now that kind of like, if you think about it, people were like, because Eric was asking about how they brought back Quaritch and whatnot. And it's like, they cloned him in the body of an avatar.
Yeah. Cause you missed the first 10 minutes. So
yeah. Well, I got there. So we were literally trying to find our seat right as Quaritch was speaking to himself in the video recording.
Okay.
So I was trying to, I didn't catch all, I didn't catch everything that he said,
yeah,
but I got
apparently they're making these avatar clones on Earth, like it's like orbiting Earth. And the first 10 minutes, Jake Sully kind of does a narration explaining what happened since the first movie. Like they said, okay, there's a kid named Spider who got left behind because they couldn't put him in cryo sleep and send him back because he was a baby. And then they said, for some reason, Grace's avatar was pregnant and gave birth to Kiri, who he adopted. That's basically what the first 10 minutes set up. And
that's what I figured after, as you're watching the movie, you can kind of figure it out. Never mind, Quaritch keeps reiterating, like, I have your dad's memories, but I'm not your dad. And then, but by the end of the movie, he's like, but that's my son.
He bonded to him. Yeah, he bonded with them too.
Yeah.
And that's like that parental instinct too. The Kiri stuff is so, because you know what they're setting up in the sequels, okay? So it's Spider and Kiri's story. It's those two. The duology between those two characters is going to be and Loak too, of course. But the Spider thing's interesting because again, he goes back to Jake's the Sully family, but Neytiri was going to kill him. She didn't care about him.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
she was like the most ruthless fucker.
He
in that
fucking
whole
knew
movie,
that too.
Dude.
Oh, he knew it, and he accepted it.
He knew it.
Like he said, like, she's gonna kill me. I know she is, and I'm wondering if that's gonna set up like some tension between him and the family, because like he's kind of one of them. I know Sully says a son for a son, but will there be tension because of Neytiri later in the other movies?
I think Neytiri, because you kind of felt like there might have been, but at the end of the movie, she still kind of accepted him as being back, you know. Mm-hmm. But when she finds out that he saved Quaritch,
that's what's going to be everything too. Yeah,
that's going to be. But again,
yeah.
But why did Spider save Quaritch?
Because I think part of him. He
understands that's his dad, but he's also trying to prove that he's not his dad.
He's trying to be
that's
better,
the other part of that as well. But I love that how Spider just goes, fuck. Yeah. You got the F-bomb. F-bomb.
I just don't, the only thing that turns me off about all that is the fact that he's going to be a villain in yet again another movie, bro. Another fucking movie.
Man. He's the Darth Vader. He's the Darth Sidious, man. He's
But now his motivations have changed. That's the other part of this as well.
It's not just about killing Jake Sully. It's about getting his son back too.
Yeah. So it's like now the motivations are changed. And so now we're going to see more of that. And I mean, Cameron did say that for Avatar 4, the only notes he got back from the studio were just, holy fuck.
Shit. Yeah.
Right. And then he's like, you have any notes? And then she said that was the note.
Yeah.
And then number 5 is Neytiri goes to Earth. So why does Neytiri go to Earth?
Wait, is that number 5?
That's James Cameron said that in number 5, Neytiri goes to Earth.
And that's the last movie. Why would only Neytiri
That's the last
go to
movie.
Earth?
Well, so here's my thoughts on that. So Jake is going to die, right? Jake is going to die.
I mean, eventually at some point, yeah.
Yeah, and then she's going to go to Earth because they can clone him. Because if they've already got all of his DNA,
they'll make another
all of his
Avatar
DNA.
clone.
Yeah, they can make another Avatar clone and then bring him back and then take him back there to be with them. Like my general take on that is that's what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong. It just seems, knowing James Cameron, look, the thing with I like the story in Avatar. It's predictable, but I liked it.
It's a simplistic story, but there's stuff
but I liked it. I still had
yeah. Well, I want to mention too, what do you think's going on with Kiri? Because it's obvious that she might be a reincarnation of Awa or something.
I don't think she's a reincarnation of Awa, because why exactly would Awa then?
Awa chose Grace, and she chose Grace in her whatever.
I think Grace fucked somebody. I just don't know who. I thought it was funny that they were joking around about who it could be.
Oh,
and they all thought
that was great.
That was great. Look at him. Look at the way he looks at her, man. He's in every shot.
Yeah, it's like he went to his avatar body, and she went to his. They went to the forest and did some freaky avatar things, and she's like,
Yeah, like anything can happen. But I do feel that Awa is going. It's possible
because she
that,
can control animals.
She can control. She can communicate with them.
Yeah,
and yeah, pretty well. I don't know if I'd say control, but
well,
communicate.
Control, but she can communicate and kind of move things or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, well, she did grab that one guy like as he was trying to escape the submarine, and she fucking tore his ass to shit.
Yeah,
so
and she strangled that guy with the jellyfish things too.
Yeah, what I thought was really funny too was like I saw people going like I thought her diet, like her approach was a little cringe at times, but then I'm like, oh yeah, she's only supposed to be 14. You know, like how would a 14-year-old?
And honestly, I know some people are going to disagree on this. I didn't like. I know it's Sigourney Weaver playing a teenager. It felt seamless to me. Like I was cool with it. I was cool with it. It didn't bother me.
She was great. I thought it was funny too that it's like she's over there just doing her own thing, and everyone's like, she's fucking weird, you know. But then there was a line when like Lowak was like got his ass handed to him and shit, and he could have fucking ratted out the chief's son. And he didn't, and then he's just like, I know what it's like to be disappointment to my dad too, you know, because again, it's all about the.
Well, he also knew he had to earn their trust, and what better way than taking the fall through? Because he could have got him killed, you know, so it made him.
He could have, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was the whole thing was like, I like the kids, their journey was good.
The kids
usually in these movies
are the most compelling characters, in my opinion.
Bro, they really stole the show for me.
I'll tell you this though. I was a little bit. I've always been concerned about the children popping up in these sequels, right?
Yeah, because it's like it's like the Mummy Return syndrome. You introduce a kid, it's like God
right, yeah,
dynamic.
It did. The kid really. I mean, but then again, I like the kid in Iron Man 3 because I thought Ty Simpkins had a good chemistry with Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
But in the case of like Ghostbusters Afterlife and this, the kids did a phenomenal job, and it really does boil down to the writing and the directing.
Well, also because
and not treating kids like they're stupid.
Yeah,
and also not treating the kids like they're stupid. So I really enjoyed that because Lowak having the connection that he had, and then even the other son whose name I can't remember right now,
Nayatub or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that. Like like Nayatiri or something like.
Yeah,
the older brother. Like you could tell, like he was like the Jake put a lot of pressure on him. Like, look after your brother.
Bro,
you know.
I just sorry to interrupt, but like, am I the only one who teared up at the end when they're all in the parents kind of like sync up with the world tree and kind of have that moment?
Oh yeah, at the very end of the movie,
dude. That shit, like, fuck, dude.
Memories. And what I love too, because you missed it at the beginning of the narration. I don't want to spoil it because I want you to have that realization when you go back and see it, Matt. But that the ending memory connects to something Jake says at the beginning of the movie about time, and like you see him go like from like little kid to like adult or teenager, and he starts crying. I'm like, oh, I get
it fucking broke me, bro.
It's just like time flashes just in an instant. You lose, and you just like it just goes so fast.
Dude, trust me, man. Like my daughter just turned 5, right? And I'll get photo hops or time hops in my Facebook feed. Of pictures I posted of her, and I don't remember. I can't remember what she like. I see the picture. I see her look like that. I know she looked like that, but I have so much trouble remembering those moments. But I look at her now, and it's
I have
totally
promo codes for the Alzheimer's store if you need it.
Well, I mean, like dementia does run in my family, so that could be what kills me down the road. That or cancer. Not too sure. But we'll figure it out.
It does suck though. They have to leave the forest and Jake had to give up in like his chiefdom, you know?
Yeah. Was Susue in the sequel? Dude, Susue died in the first movie, man, Eric.
Yeah, he died. He died.
He died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what's bullshit about that though, right? Was in the first Avatar when they're talking about the Na'vi are very difficult to kill. Susue died. Very quickly.
He got shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like, are they hard to kill or, whatever? It's kind of like I said the other day.
You got stormtrooper aim.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I was talking about like Star Wars with James the other night, and I mentioned that like the whole cloaking device thing that happened in The Last Jedi was bullshit because we've never seen cloaking in Star Wars before. And then I was reminded in a comment today that there was a mention of a cloaking device in The Empire Strikes Back, and that a ship the size of the Millennium Falcon wouldn't have that. Except we never actually see it on screen. That's kind of what I'm referring to.
Mm.
And then I also, yeah.
Because we know that the anti-aging remedies are going to play a part too. You don't introduce that and not do something like that later. It's just a matter of who uses that, who's getting the anti-aging, right? And that'll be something we figure out too.
But now they're also trying to turn Pandora into Earth too.
They're trying to terraform it basically because Earth's dying. So
yeah.
I want to see what this Earth looks like. Like what is a dying Earth in James Cameron's mind?
I hope we're gonna see it. He has said that we're gonna see it.
Can't fucking wait, dude. He's been killing it, dude.
What I don't get though is like, I mean, is Pandora the only planet that we have gone to? I mean, I feel like there would be more.
I think it's because it's the most Earth-like planet. That might be the explanation.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, with the air being, if they do terraform Earth, that's going to effectively be the plot line for the finale of Man of Steel. Right. And so it's
that's what I was gonna say. Like, what, he got a fucking world engine?
Yeah. Well, also what was interesting too is that they explained that like the hybrids that they have, like because Jake isn't a true Na'vi technically by blood, they have 4 fingers, or was it 5 fingers?
They have 5 fingers. They have 5 fingers.
Okay. Yeah, so that was interesting too. Kind of get that little lore stuff too.
Yeah. What did you think of Took? I thought Took was a cute little character.
Fucking loved it.
Yeah, is Took a boy or a girl? I got confused.
Girl.
Okay,
girl.
So she's one of the daughters. Okay, she's the youngest.
2 sons, adorable. 2 sons and 3 sons with Spider, and then the 2 daughters.
Absolutely adorable.
Yeah,
how do I keep getting tied up?
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Such a. I don't know. I just love it. I love it.
They're setting up Loak to be like the male lead going forward after Jake, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see Jake Sully dying in the next one because, like, who knows what's going to happen, but clearly Quaritch is going to win one. There's going to have to be an Empire Strikes Back type moment where the bad guys win. Then we have to wait 2 years to go back and check it out again. And obviously,
is it going to be kind of like the Ape series where I'm just thinking like that because like Caesar.
Wait. So how many sequels are we getting? We're getting Avatar 2, 3, and 4, correct?
And 5.
5.
Are we getting 5 as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're shooting 4 right now, and they got a significant chunk of 4 shot, and 5 is going to be worked on as well. So I mean, they're doing all the mocap in LA, and then shooting all the outdoor stuff.
So they just have to shoot Avatar 4 and 5. They better shoot that shit back to back quick.
Well, they are. Yeah, they are. I mean, that's the thing.
They just have to do post for 3 and then finish shooting 4, and then
I guarantee you 3 is already like the VFX on 3 are already pretty far along.
They're at least by like at least 50% done after that.
Well, did you see the report that James Cameron had apparently has like the cut of Avatar 3 is 9 hours long?
Yeah,
he wants all the visual effects.
How
I don't know. The thing is, so they brought in a writers group, right? They brought in a story group for this for the sequels, and they worked on all 4 scripts before they even started shooting The Way of Water.
Which that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. I'm glad they.
So did that. I mean, you can look at The Way of Water and you can start seeing the breadcrumbs that they're laying out. And to me, that's really fascinating. So we're going to see the breadcrumbs. We're going to see what's going on with that. We're going to see all that shit. And it's going to be, like, I just want to know, like, are the humans and the Na'vi going to be able to live in side by side, right? Or is there going to be something on Pandora that they're going to be able to do to kind of like revitalize Earth? Because I do feel that at the end, Pandora will be left alone, but Earth is they're going to like. I mean, if Earth dies out, if they kill off Earth,
I'm checking Wikipedia just real quick. John Landau said that Avatar 4 after the first act does a 6-year time skip in Avatar 4.
So what happens in 6 years? They travel to Earth.
Oh shit! So we're going to Earth in Avatar.
I mean,
4?
if there's a 6-year time skip, like. Wasn't it 5 years to get from Earth to Pandora?
No, I think it was exactly 6.
Right. So if there's a time skip, that's that precise amount of time, that means that someone's going to fucking. So I could see like Natiri getting grabbed in number 4.
Oh yeah. Or what if Avatar 3 ends on a cliffhanger, like someone gets abducted and taken to Earth?
Well, remember they said that if they need to, if this one doesn't perform, which it's looking like it's going to perform, then they're going to they can wrap it up 3.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, they could wrap it up in number 3 100%, but I'm also looking at that shit going like, motherfucker, I know, I want more.
Well, they said at D23 that they already started filming Avatar 4. So the only reason they waited is because the kids have to get older for Avatar 4.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, Rational here also says Cameron did say that he wants to do a 6th and 7th. He says he has ideas for the 6th and the 7th.
I'd rather hope we just get all 5.
Look,
5.
if they can give us a conclusive story in 5 films, cool beans. All right. But like, I think the thing is, though, I think one of the reasons why there might be a bit of apathy for this, and I saw Spherical Man's comments, and I get it. It may not be for you, man, but like, it is a solid movie. It is a solid movie.
Like I said, I wasn't like over the moon about it, but like now, man, I'm in. Like I'm a believer now. I want to see what happens.
Blargonier says the Way of Water was so good. I honestly got sad that part 3 wasn't starting immediately after the credits rolled.
Same, bro.
Me too. I was like, fuck, man.
Not in a bad way though, because like I said, The Way of Water has a good beginning, middle, and end. Like it has a complete standalone story. Like I love that they didn't like feel like I got cheated. Like, oh, I gotta wait for the sequel. No, I got a complete story here.
I mean, Avatar. Yeah, that's the thing. Avatar 1 had a complete story, had a beginning, a middle, and end, and a resolution, and there's that, right? We got that.
Same with
Avatar,
this movie.
Yeah, Avatar 2 gave us a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a resolution, but also still leaving the door open for a lot more. And then Avatar 3 will probably end on a bad cliffhanger, right? The bad guys will win. Well, I mean, actually, I think all things considered, the bad guys winning in number 4 would probably be for the best. Or if he wants to go real hardcore, the bad guys win in 3 and 4, right? Like they just browbeat the fuck out of the Na'vi. And you're, as the audience, you're like, okay, this has got to be, it's got to be the resistance. It's time to fight, you know, because it's like, because Taruk Makto has got to come back. You know, he's got this, because you know there's going to be a callback to that too. Like there's going to absolutely be a callback to that and everything. You know,
by
but
the way, the little spider drones, by the way, the one that did the fist pump. That was
did you see that on Twitter? Someone just posted that on
Twitter. Yeah, I saw that.
Someone just posted it on Twitter. Here, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up because it's fine. This is someone said here this is their favorite part of Avatar 2. This was like
crab mech.
Let me bring it full screen. I'll say this though, when we first saw these crab mechs, that's when I legitimately
was dying laughing.
I legitimately just went, whoa. Right? Like, I did.
The little spider mech you get in that, or the crab mech.
Oh yeah. I haven't played Splatoon 3, so I don't know. But check this out.
Hey, this is like this thing, man. It's just funny.
You know, and then you know what they're gonna have to play after that, right?
What?
God damn it!
Dun 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 dun. I wonder if I should remix that. But
I want to mention this too about the sons. I thought it was really interesting because like the older brother took more after Jake's Na'vi side, and I thought it interesting that Loak took more after his human side. But that was
the older brother took after. It wasn't the Na'vi side; it was the Marine. If you listen, like
I was gonna say more like the warrior,
the warrior side, but it's the Marine. He's using like Marine language.
Well, that was funny too because like the way Jake runs his family, he runs like it's a squad, and even Terry comments on like, listen, I understand you're trying to prepare us, but like we're still a family. We're not a military squad, you know.
Yeah,
we kind of had a difficulty balancing that, but yeah.
But then, well, because he's still in charge, and they're running raids against the corporation, right? And so the thing about that I enjoyed was like at one point he's yelling at the older brother, and the older brother just goes Lima Charlie, right? And you're like loud and clear, you know. Do you understand me, Lima Charlie? Just loud. So he's teaching him Marine mannerisms and Marine terminology to be able to actually communicate that with this kid, because he's training his oldest son to take over for him. He really is, you know. And that kid was brave, and man, he got shot. That fucking sucked. I mean, I saw it coming, but like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I figured someone had to die. You know, I think the older brother dying kind of spurs the rest of the franchise in a way, if that makes sense. Like that.
Yeah, but like I mean, like the fact that they killed the kid,
yeah, the kid,
and that was the motivation. It was all about saving the kids, right? And like all that, and then like
that was the whole theme of the movie. Yeah, about the family, like the father.
Yeah, but then it was
Furious couldn't even fucking do the family theme better.
Well, you know, Vin Diesel's in number 3, so we're just gonna hear about
as a human or a Navi.
No, he's a Navi. He's, as far as I understand, he's a Navi.
That's gonna be.
But I don't know much. It's my speculation that he's a Navi. There was a whole thing about he had let it slip a while back when he was promoting Fast 9 last year that he was in Avatar.
So they're gonna go to the sky next. They're gonna do sky people next.
I think they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do next. I mean, like, you know, they've done the sea people. There's a lot of other elements that are gonna happen, and you know, you know, if they're gonna go through the air, the Earth people, they're gonna go to the Earth
tribe.
Like
we're forgetting also that Avatar,
the Fire Tribe.
Hold on. Well, we obviously know that the game's coming out, and I sent a tweet the other day of how that connects to Avatar 2 and 3.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
and I did, but I don't know if you saw that, if I said that in my review or if I said that elsewhere. But like when you're watching the movie and they start listing off locations, and you're like, I don't know why they would really do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense because the only time they mention, like, they go Three Brothers Rocks because they show that in the movie, and then after that they mention it one time. But when you're watching it, like, I'm going like, oh, this is for the video game, right? Like, this is what they're doing for the video game. This is the, you know, this
I can't fucking wait, dude.
Yeah, this is like they're showing us locations in the movies that are going to tie into the game, because they're saying that the game now may not come out. It's got a release window of like May 2023 to like May 2024.
Yeah, April 2023 to like November. I don't remember exactly.
I don't think it's going to come out until right before the next movie in 2024. It's when I think it's going to happen.
I could see that. I hope it comes out sooner, though. I'll have to wait and see.
Well, but Rational here says that they said that they were going to visit other moons and planets. Did they? I haven't heard that, but I haven't listened to everything that was said. So, you know, but I did just join
They did say the game takes place in the 1-year time skip between when the humans come back to the Way of Water plot. So
yes, that's
well. I'll tell you this though. What I really enjoyed about the humans coming back, for one, Edie Falco as the general was great. If you've ever seen The Sopranos,
Mrs. Soprano,
yeah, or Nurse Jackie, depending on your poison.
Nah, fuck it.
But what I like though is when she's talking with Quaritch and she shows those fucking little drone bots, and she's like, these guys can have a thing built like in a day. You know?
Yeah, this is 6 days. 6 days.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they can construct a building in 6 days, but it's like all like the railing, all like the construction work. It's like, oh yeah, no, they could, yeah, okay. You know, it's kind of like watching the Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett season. You know, when they go to the temple and all the little like spy ant drones are like building the temples and shit. You know, it's like okay, cool. Like that's what they're working with. I think that's gonna be pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying it's solid. Yeah, it's a solid movie.
Yeah, and Spherical Man, yeah, Blargan explains it very well. Just because they cloned Quaritch, for example, doesn't mean he's the same person. He's not. He even says so in the movie. Like, I have the memories of him, but I'm still going to be my own person.
Yeah, but then at the end of it, he's still like kind of coming to terms, because he goes like, you know, he made a comment too about like, well, I never was a good daddy or some shit like that.
Yeah, I was never a good dad, but I can kind of, you know, tell you about him or kind of be somewhat there for you now, or what? He says something like that.
So there's, you know, that's kind of the whole point. It's just like, okay, great. It's just such a good fucking movie.
Do you ever think there's a possibility that he might join the Na'vi at any point, like for his son to be there with him and support him?
I don't know if he's the kind of character who can do that though. After all he's done.
Because like you were mentioning, like, yeah, he kind of seems like a Darth Vader type of character, and obviously I'm thinking like maybe it might be too late. Like when it's too late, that's when he like changes and switches up. I think that would be fucking dope if they did that. Like,
I mean, I think eventually he'll do something to redeem himself, but he has to die. Like, he has to. Like, I just
especially
can't see
after all he's done.
Yeah, like after everything
he's done. Yeah, I don't think Neytiri.
Wait, you know, Jake Sully was only 22 years old when he went into cryo.
What?
I'm on the Avatar wiki or subreddit.
Sam Worthington didn't look no damn 22 in the first movie.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Because how long do Na'vi live? Like,
We don't know.
lifespan?
We don't know.
Probably
There's
hundreds of years.
Let's see here. All right. If I could find. Wow, the Wikipedia on this is like long. All right. It doesn't really say.
It says on the fandom website that it's 160 to 180 years.
I mean,
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Pandorapedia says data on lifespan is incomplete, but it's generally said to be about 30% longer than humans. So whatever that means.
Yeah, see, Spherical Manager says, I've also heard that the Water Tribe was inspired by Miley Cyrus. Whatever.
What?
Whatever.
By the way,
man.
they didn't use Kate Winslet as much as I thought they would in the movie.
Well,
I mean, she was there, but
she kept going like, she kept going like, oh, I held my breath for 7 minutes, and you're like, when?
Like, unless she's gonna be in the third one more. I don't know.
I think she'll be in the third one a lot more.
Cliff
but
too.
Guys, it is 12:30. I do have to get going.
Okay.
Yeah. I know I'd love to keep talking about it, but we've been on for 2 hours and 41 minutes, and I'm getting sleepy. A command unit here did ask us to take a look here at this Horus Heresy cinematic trailer. Is this going to be who Henry Cavill plays? We don't know, but let's find out.
I never wanted this. I never wanted to unleash my legions. Together we banished the ignorance of old night. But you betrayed me. You betrayed us all. You stole power from the gods and lied to your sons. Mankind has only one chance to prosper. If you will not seize it, then I will! So let it be war. From the skies of terror to the galactic rim. Let the seas boil. Let the stars fall. Though it takes the last drop of my blood, I will see the galaxy freed once more. And if I cannot save it from your failure, Father, then let the galaxy burn.
I said, man, just watching these videos, you see the potential for this universe. You know,
Bro,
I can see why they're attaching themselves to it on Amazon.
I definitely feel like
this is gonna be such a dope fucking series. I'm just saying, like, just watching all these cinematics from Command.
As long as they have a budget and they use the budget to do some dope fights, you know.
Yeah, dude. If Rings of Power got that big of a budget, I think Warhammer should get, some.
Let's be fair, Warhammer ain't getting close to this level budget, but
yeah, true. But hopefully it gets, because Rings of Power needed it. Like what I'm trying to say is, like, I hope they get the budget that they need, not what what Amazon will just simply give them.
I think it's Amazon is going to come in, and like I said the other night talking about this, I think Amazon is realizing that the power is in IPs that are aimed for what you could argue would be a bit of an older audience. Like Lord of the Rings is aimed for an older audience. The Expanse was aimed for an older audience. Reacher is, the Terminal List. Like, we're talking more of like the older, moderate, maybe a bit more on the conservative side. of people. And I know that seems kind of weird to say, and The Boys necessarily isn't like that, but it definitely does attract an older audience. And it's just well done as well. And like the Lord of the Rings of Power is a fucking beautiful show. I absolutely love it, you know, but it's definitely something that's going to be aimed for an audience that's not Game of Thrones. And some people out there really didn't like that because they really wanted it to be Game of Thrones. So Benson here says, I hope it's exciting as Amazon's Power of the Rings. The Rings of Power was plenty exciting. Plenty exciting. A lot happened in that show. You know, even, oh man, Neil Gaiman loved it. Andy Serkis loved it. You know, because he knows more about Lord of the Rings and all that shit than a lot of us do. You know, I think Mark Bernardin, Fat Man on Batman, even he said, he goes, once you understand the rules of the show, it's fucking beautiful. But I think a lot of people out there don't realize that like these books take place over thousands of years. You can't tell a story like that. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. You can't have a core cast of people that don't live thousands of years be around for that long. You have to condense it. And that is just how these things operate. You know, so anyway, there is that. But all right, everybody, thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. You guys have yourself a fantastic night, and I should be on tomorrow. I just gotta get some sleep. I'm fucking exhausted. All right, everybody, peace the fuck